going, well, we're here to stay, aren't we, Steve?
True enough.
Well, for another 4 weeks anyway, then we're off. Then
That's
4 more
right.
shows. They'll have to order a new DJ. Alright?
That was genius.
Hey?
Oh, wow,
I'm
it's as simple as that.
I'm Ricky Gervais, Steve Mitchell, and Karl Pilkington.
Oh, man.
Did anyone, read the, Guardian yesterday? It was Steve's big we were interviewed together.
I've never been interviewed before in the paper. I've certainly never had my photo in a national
We were very
paper
excited. We loved the interview. It was talking about our top 10 albums between us. We loved it. We talked really fast, like school kids. We were excited. It was a great interview, and all the way through, it was Ricky Gervais with his writing partner, Steve Mitchell.
Stephen Mitchell. It's not even like Merchant.
He phoned me up the night before and he was gutted. I know, it's awful. And it was big letters and just all the way through, and the caption, and it's just like, oh, God.
But it's embarrassing. Do you know what I mean? It's embarrassing because it's like I was trying to get in the paper. I couldn't believe my luck. And then that just draws attention to the fact that I'm not a celebrity and consequently they can't even remember my name.
But the worst thing was that, one of my favourite albums of all time, I said in there, was, Blood on the Tracks by Bob Dylan. And I said, because, you know, I think one of the most beautiful songs ever is If You See Her, Say Hello. And of course these people were sort of transcribing it from, you know, a dictaphone. It came out, my favourite song of all time was If You See a Sailor.
If you see a sailor. Oh, hello. Fruity.
Oh, Bob Drillboyd's, up on the trap with, where's the sailor gone to? With Ricky Gervais and Steve Mitchellings. Oh.
I don't know. They must have thought my name was Mitchell all along. They obviously never knew.
The evidence is there.
But I don't know why. It was like they reported in the paper that we'd been nominated for a Sony, and it said, Ricky Gervais, who hosts the breakfast show on XFM, and it's that sort of, it's just guessing. It's like, presumably someone's gone, does he host the breakfast show? And someone's gone, yeah. And that's their research done.
Yeah. But there was a thing about, The Office set in Swindon. That's someone going, just write an article about The Office. Where's it set? Swindon, I think. Is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that'll do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even we research the show now and again, don't we?
Yeah.
Even we look things up. Well, actually, people phone in. Usually that fella. What's that fella's name that calls in who's not got the website? He's got a funny name.
Oh.
Gilwell or something.
James.
Phone in if you remember what his name is.
Yeah.
James at Lose Control.
Yeah, what's his surname though?
Oh, for goodness sake, this is just gonna be interesting to him.
Yeah.
And his friends.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
You remember?
We better play another record.
Yes.
I'll tell you what, if
Johnny
you like
Mango.
Mango, that's it, yeah. Now, if you like Elvis Costello's Alison, or maybe Freeze, My Brother Jake,
One of my favourites.
stay tuned. Badly Drawn Boy, Silent Sigh,
Cracking tune, that.
XFM 104.9. Maybe there'll be a few silent sighs around London on the 4th of May when, that's it, we're off the air for 3 months.
Yeah. Wow, you're really getting into the DJ patter today.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. It's only
links.
taken, what is it, 5 years?
Yeah.
Now you're finally as good as Foxy.
Coming up,
Yes.
that anecdote that Karl didn't get to last week about Neil Armstrong.
Oh, right.
I can't wait. It's because he took 3 links telling us about the horse.
Yes, of course.
The horse. Think of that.
Wow.
I went out with Karl on Thursday night.
Right.
Right. It was one of the most enjoyable nights. We just went out for about, what, 5 or 6 pints, a little crawl, and adventures happened around Karl.
Yeah.
And just me sitting talking to him was just incredible. I'm thinking that a competition would be win a pint with Karl.
Yes. That'd be a hell of a
just
gift.
have to go for a pint and they can ask him anything they want.
Yeah.
He's just great. We met my friend, didn't we? Tell him all about that.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah? What?
Did you enjoy it as much as Ricky, Karl?
Yeah, there was things I learned as well, like, which was good.
Okay.
You know his mate Robin, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
I'll
You'll discuss that later.
I'll tell you later about.
He's got all his near-death experiences to come. Win a pint, and of course coming up, Karl's homework was, the quotes, and Karl's come up with a great idea to show that anyone can do quotes. He's invented a thing like faking it, where he's got 2 real quotes.
Right.
And he's made one up.
Okay.
And he's gonna fool us. I bet we won't be able to.
Brilliant. Sorry, what was the challenge last
Look at him looking at us. What's the matter with you?
It's just that before, you were like, no, this is good for you. But
What?
now it's turning into a game.
At your expense?
Yeah.
Has it only just dawned on you?
Karl, well, I'm joking. It's great, honestly. It's really good.
What was the Karl challenge last week? You said I thought we did the quotes last week.
No, but I gave him a book
Happiness.
on happiness. It's all about happiness
Right.
and what the pursuit of happiness, and it's in sort of like quote form and everything. But Carl's gonna do a couple of ones and faking it just to show. I mean, because he's been coming up with fables all week as well. Now he comes up with something, he goes, "That's a fable, isn't it?" And he tells me so he's getting good. Now,
to it all. If you play another track, what have you got? You got something special?
I brought in I saw Elvis Costello and Jonathan Ross a couple of weeks ago, and he did just an acoustic version of Alison, and I forgot what an amazing song it is, and it's just, he's fantastic, he's the man. Listen to this guitar sound, it's so beautiful. My aim is true, to provide quality entertainment of a Saturday. That was
awesome.
Elvis Costello and his attractions, and Alison on XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais.
Steve Mitchell here, and Karl Pilkington.
Oh, isn't it?
It's going alright, I, obviously been doing some acting, as you know, I mentioned it last week, doing this sort of comedy pilot. This week, Karl, you're gonna be loving this. I've been doing stunts. I swear to God, I've been doing my own stunts with the guy that once made Christopher Reeve fly as Superman, right? And I was doing stunts. I had to do a thing where my character has to commit suicide. Don't think we didn't bring that up. Were you anywhere near that horse? No? Fine, let's carry on. And, my character has to commit suicide, and he has to sort of, leap off a building. So the first shot.
That's something for comedy.
Well, we were up on a roof, and obviously they had the crash mats and stuff, and I had to kind of leap off, and land on the mats and stuff. And obviously I was petrified the whole time because I was wearing my glasses. Petrified that they might get broken. So I was like not really doing it properly, and kind of leaping like what, you know, people who, when they can't dive into a swimming pool, and so they put that one foot out first to sort of break their fall.
Was it you that told me that you could never get into fights?
No, I can never get into fights or go in a mosh pit because of my glasses. I've missed out in life because I can't, because if I was in a fight and I say, come on then, you are, you know, and I was in a pub or something, they just have to whiff off my glasses, just knock them off, I'm done for. I got nothing.
Really short-sighted, are you?
Yeah, but anything's an advantage in a fight, isn't it? And the fact that they're just a blur is bound to hamper my otherwise brilliant, you know, ninja skills. So yeah, I've never got into a fight, I've never been in a fight at all, I've never, as I say, been in the mosh pit.
On the wire.
So this was making me sort of a bit worried, and anyway, so then I think, well fine, I've done my stunt, and I did it, and everyone clapped, they were pleased with it, and the guy who said I was very good. So then they drive us to the next location, right, I'm thinking I've done my stunts now. There's a crane, I think, what's going on here? Now they need to shoot me, like, I've already done the stunt where I've sort of leapt off the building, now they've got to actually see me falling, right? So I have to get strapped in with this huge belt, and they click wires onto me, and they hoist me about 30-40 foot into the air, on this wire, and I have to, and then they drop me at great speed, and I have to scream and shout. You know, it was partly acting. And,
glasses on?
Glasses, by this time I'd managed to get some wire fixed to my glasses so they wouldn't come off my head. I assured
they were stunt glasses. They were doing their own stunts.
Exactly.
Yeah, okay.
So they hoist me into there on this thing. They do a couple of sort of demo versions, you know, and just gradually ease me up higher and higher so I kind of become acclimatized to it. And, they get me about 30 feet up, and they got these huge crash mats, like those great big ones you always see kind of stunt people have. And they set up the camera and stuff down below, and while I'm up in the air dangling there, they remove those crash mats, and they replace them with those really thin ones that you always see, like, teenage gymnasts using on Blue Peter. Do you know what I mean? The really thin ones they used to have at school, right? And I'm looking down at this, and I'm thinking, now, they may as well have shouted up, if you fall, you're done for, but we might be able to protect the equipment. Do you know what I mean? It was so rubbish.
But you weren't gonna land on the floor, presumably?
Well, the idea was that the wire would stop that. Right?
Oh, I see, but there was no that was their safety.
That was the safety net.
Why did they not leave the real ones in?
Because they had to, I don't know, for the shot and stuff, they had to be able to do it. But anyway, what was particularly joyful is one of the other actors pointed this out, right? This is the, this is the health and safety statement from the stunt guys, right? And they obviously have to write up this health and safety statement about how they do it. And it says, we confirm that we have proper safety policies, procedures to comply with the Health and Safety Act 1974, and that we will not do anything which compromises the health, safety and welfare of your production crew, actors or members of the public. If the above situation changes, we'll advise you immediately. I mean, if they think that maybe they do want to hurt members of the public, look at that fat one over there, just try and hit her and bring him down.
Don't worry about that one. Don't worry. She can take it. She can take it.
But, so that reassured me, obviously, and, now my whole body's racked with pain. Limbs, arms, head, neck. Unbelievable.
Well, is the shot worth having? I mean,
probably not.
You'll wish you
Do you know what the cameraman whispered to me? The cameraman whispered to me, he'll probably never use it.
Yeah, Steve, you'll wish you hadn't told that wimpy tale when you hear just three random tales of near-death experiences that Karl told me.
Right.
Coming up. I mean, Honestly.
Really?
At least you had stunt people and crash mats.
Yeah,
And you got paid.
Yeah. The things that he got up to, just through stupidity,
Well,
will put you what? What one of them wasn't through stupidity?
cakes.
I'm already excited.
The cake one?
Yeah.
Which one's that?
Sorry, you had a near-death experience involving a
Hold
cake?
on, I've got 3. I've got the paper round, the nicking slate, and the Mr. Freeze. What's the cake one?
Yeah, I suppose. The cream cake.
Oh! Yeah.
Right,
Play
now
a
you're
record.
talking in riddles.
Play
Can
a
we have these
record.
next?
Yeah, play a record. Cooper Temple Claws. Who needs enemies? Good question, lads. Nobody. This is XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais.
Oh, they should print a little book of those. They're great. Oh, how you can relate any song or artist to anything else.
Easy.
Joyful.
Easy. Well, yeah, so, me and Karl went out, for a beer, and it was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, enjoy
We started off, and you met my mate, Robin, didn't you?
Yeah.
And, some of the stories. Do you want to tell Steve some things about Robin that you
Robin,
learned?
do you know him well?
Yes.
Well, do you know about his worm problem as a kid?
Go on.
Right. He, what I can remember is he had worms as a kid. Not sure how you get him. He never answered me. He was getting a bit touchy about it.
Right.
This is like the second time I met him. I think he was a bit annoyed that Ricky told me about his problem.
What now? Now straight away, you not being there, instinctively, what do you think went on with this story about worms?
My suspicion
Yeah.
is rather like when you told a group of people that Robin had once suckled milk from a cow's udder.
Yeah.
He told me that.
Yeah, did he mention that as well?
Yeah.
Yeah. My suspicion is that, like the cow story, the worm story is not true.
But
And
why
Robin-
why would he get so sort of uppity about it?
Well,
Because
imagine
it's
if,
not true.
imagine if that wasn't the first time he'd done it. Imagine if he did that every single time he was with somebody for the first time and Robin was, just met them. He will tell that story to anyone.
But they do say there's no smoke without fire.
Oh, Robin! I also told him.
That's a fable.
I also told him that the way Robin cured these worms
Yep.
was because the doctor told his mother, right, to hold a piece of ham or cheese near Robin's anus so the worms would come out for the food, and he believed it.
I'll tell you why, though.
I said to Robin used to sit on Spam to try and get the worms out, and he believed it.
But Steve, right, do you remember that story about 3 or 4 years ago where there was some bloke in the army, he went away to somewhere, Vietnam or whatever, he was messing about in the woods,
Messing about in the wood.
Shouldn't he have been fighting?
whatever,
Yeah.
right, and he walked through some lake, and I think he'd cut his toe or something on something, and some worm of some sort crawled in the gash,
Yeah.
and it was in his body, and the doctor said, we've got to get this out of your body. So what they did was, they said, right, the thinnest part of something of your body that things can crawl through is on the top of your head. So they wrapped
Where
some
the skull is.
so they wrapped some bacon.
No, they didn't!
They did.
Ah!
That's
Oh,
that
right.
thing.
So
Everyone.
he's gone in via the toe. So what we do is, I'll tell you what, that worm's probably heading straight for the head. We'll put a bit of bacon on it. The thinnest part of the body is the skull. Of course it's not the thinnest part of the body. It's where your brain case is, isn't it? It's the skull.
There was a reason for it, and it was like they stuck some bacon on his head. And
As ever, the vital piece of information, i.e. the reason, Karl seems to have forgotten.
because the worm was in his body, and they said everyone likes the smell of bacon.
Oh,
including
even a
worms.
worm.
Again.
Even a Vietnamese lake worm. They
Oh, they love
Remember
bacon.
Remember last week when I said about the little fella with the bone with no brain, and you were proved wrong?
No,
Please.
no. We were saying it wasn't a little fella. We were saying it was a stillborn child. It wasn't a little
You're
fella.
changing it now. You weren't having any of it last
Right,
week.
hang on a minute. I'm getting confused. There was a Vietnamese snake that went inside of a
No,
soldier.
where?
A little, like, maggot or some sort that you have to get out of your body because it causes problems.
Yes, and so in order to get it out of the
He runs
body,
them off.
they strapped bacon to his head.
Yeah.
That is great. This doctor.
And did that work?
I think so. They had a picture of him smiling.
Oh, God, what, the worm or the bloke?
The bloke.
Oh, dear.
Honestly, I hope someone knows the story. And
Right.
it was about 3 years ago, I reckon.
Okay.
And, yeah, it did work.
GI bacon.
So this is why when
So what, the worm burrowed out of his head to get the bacon?
get to the bacon.
Right. That's great.
So this is why when Robin was telling his story, I was a little bit disappointed if it wasn't true.
Right.
Because in a way...
You know Robin's never been to Vietnam.
No, but what do you really think that Robin, well, as Robin said at the time, Carl, why would I sit on ham, then tell Ricky Gervais? It's a very good point.
Because if he was a kid, you do daft things like that as a kid.
Right.
It's the telling Ricky Gervais, though.
Yeah. And then, oh, bless him.
Okay.
And then anyway, then, Robin left, and, I tried to chase him, but he got away, and he knows that yeah. And then we had a few pints, and then, Carl embarked on some of the greatest stories ever told. Can you tell the story about your dad?
Let me run it, I haven't spoke to him all week, so let me run it by him.
Okay, play record.
Because, you know.
What we got?
We've got, one of Steve's...
Yeah, well, bizarrely enough, this comes from the, Teachers 2 soundtrack, the soundtrack to the current TV series. There's a slight whiff of nepotism in the air.
Yeah.
Rick, would you like to explain why?
Well, that's why you're doing it. No, my girlfriend, worked on it. But,
Yeah.
you were gonna play this anyway, weren't you?
Well, I was, actually. Bizarrely enough, I was gonna play some I Am Clute, and, this is from, as I say, the Teachers soundtrack, and this is called To You. It's a good track. I Am Clute, and a track called To You from the, Teachers soundtrack. That's also got, I noticed the Electric Soft Parade, The Hives, Star Sailor, Feeder, Turin Breaks, Mercury Rev on there. It's a good little collection.
Lovely. Carl, has just had confirmation. He's looking smug, because someone phoned up and went, it is true, it's a Laogai chi worm, and you wrap bacon around your head. That's all the bloke knew as well.
Yeah.
And his name was Gary.
Yeah.
So I'm not having it.
No.
And he said, see, that's why the Robin thing isn't so weird. He said, but when you said he tried it with cheese, he said I was having none of it. Strokes, hard to explain. Like Carl, really?
Yes. Yes.
So, Carl, concentrate.
Yeah, go on.
So, we'll leave the worm with the bacon wrapped round the head, shall we?
Well, if you're ever caught in the jungle...
Yeah. Always carry some...
bit of Danish.
Good advice.
Lovely. So, would you like to start on your... to Steve, because I've heard all these.
Well, we won't do them all.
Well, we'll start off with the Mr. Freeze. Tell Steve the story of Mr. Freeze. This is the first time he nearly died.
This is the most serious of the lot, really. So, what it was, do you know, like, I don't know if your mum and dad did the same thing, but, like, they do the weekly shopping on like, a Friday.
Yeah.
So when you got to Thursday, there wouldn't be much stuff left in the cupboard. It'd just be like, you know, your Jacob's crackers and stuff like that. So when they'd been to the supermarket and they came back, I was like, you know, what's that saying? Like a pig in... You know, I loved it. It was like loads of food coming in, loads of biscuits.
He nearly said,
what is that saying?
He nearly said pig and shit.
Right.
Is that the saying?
Yeah.
Right. So yeah, all this food comes in.
Thank God he didn't.
Otherwise he'd have been in trouble.
That's true enough.
Because he's culpable for our actions, because he's the producer. So technically, that twat's in charge. Go on.
Right, so anyway, so there's loads of food, and I'm like, oh yeah, look at this, and chocolate biscuits, and, you know, penguins and stuff.
Bacon.
And bacon.
Just in case, you never know.
So anyway, my mum and dad's putting the food away. Me and our kid are like, he's already grabbed something, gone back upstairs.
It's like feral children. it's like a quest for fire. And then they run upstairs. What did you sit under the bed, gnawing at some sort of pig's trotter?
So I saw, do you remember Mr. Freeze Pops?
I do, yes. Well, they're kind of like popsicles, icicles.
Yeah, but really long, like a foot long, right? Yeah. So I thought, I'll have one of them, so I grabbed it.
Went for the nutritious stuff first.
Absolutely.
And like, my mum and dad are putting the stuff away and what have you. And I rip it open and knock it back. Right, straight away, just right back like
Swallow
that.
it straight away, yeah.
But it went down the wrong way, right? So
what, down your shirt?
So I was like, oh god, I can't breathe, and my mum and dad didn't even know what I'd ate. Do you know what I mean? I ate it so quick.
Yeah.
And I'm sort of tapping my mum on the back, going, she's going, oh god, you know, he's choking again, because I was always choking. If there was one thing, I don't know if I've got like a small throat, but I mean, even Ricky knows, I can't drink that much, can I?
Yeah.
Do you know,
or eat pebbles.
I'm not a quick drinker, I'd always, I think I'm scared of like, swallowing stuff.
Yeah.
And, it was like bottle tops and mint imperials and stuff, I was always choking on stuff.
Oh, jeez.
So anyway, she's going, oh god, what's he picked up on it now?
Drop it! So hit his nose with a stick.
So I was going, I'm choking. At this point, my dad had like, I think he'd put his share away, you know, his food away, and he'd gone
his share! I love it!
Yeah.
He'd gone to watch, like, winner takes all or whatever in the lounge, and I was in the kitchen, and I was starting to like I didn't care anymore. Do you know what I mean? I just got to that point where I wasn't struggling anymore.
You just thought, I'm done
I just was like falling to the ground. And my mum's going, you know, get in here, I think it's serious. And my dad comes in and sort of starts shouting at me, saying that's what you get for being greedy. He didn't even know what I'd eaten.
Well, it was the moment to teach you a lesson, certainly.
So he's there like that, and my mum's going, oh, look at him, and my lips were going purple, and my eyes were rolling into the back of my head.
You look like Marilyn Manson.
And, so anyway, she grabbed me from behind and did that fireman thing.
The Heimlich manoeuvre.
Yeah. And, you know, winded me, and it came up, and I was alright.
What, the whole popsicle came flying back out?
You see, that's what I don't understand, because there was nothing there.
No, just a little bit. No, it swells up, doesn't it? Because it irritated it. So it went down this sort of like your epiglottis. It went down the wrong way, like it went into your air canal instead of your throat, and it sort of spasms, and that's the fear. You just got to calm it down and relax.
So in time, I would have been alright.
Yeah,
anyway.
you don't.
Well, no, you might have.
So that's so that's
hang on. So, but
no. But the weird thing is, like for like 3 days after that, I felt like a sort of special person. I went to school.
I'm saying nothing.
I did full days.
A special needs person.
Yeah.
I went to school the next 3 days after that. I didn't like wag it or anything. I did full days.
I love that. 3 days, turn over in the
yeah, exactly. After 3 days, you thought, screw it.
Yeah, well, did a quick history exam.
But have you ever had that where you've like felt like I've been given another chance here?
Right, next one. That's popsicle. That's popsicle hell. We'll call that. Right, next one.
Which one's the next one?
Oh, what about your paper round?
Right.
Can I ask very quickly, did your life flash before your eyes like they say it did?
No, I just sort of went really calm and like, I'm ready for this now.
Right.
I wasn't bothered, do you know what I mean?
You had no regrets?
No. It was weird. It was really weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, the paper round one. Paper round, I'd still say it's the best job I've ever had.
And he means it!
No, I really enjoyed it. It's like, you know, you don't have to work with anyone else, right? So you make your own rules.
Just think of that.
You know, you sort of
You're spreading information to people, vital information.
Giving a service, and no one else is around, you know, you can just do what you want and think about stuff whilst you're cycling around on your bike. It's really good.
Yeah.
So anyway.
Imagine the stuff he's thinking about when he's riding around his bike.
So getting in the head of a salamander.
So anyway, I loved it, and even though I only got like 50p a day, right, no matter what the weather was like and stuff, I used to get up at 4:30 and go and do the round. And
why'd you get up at 4:30?
Because I wanted to watch the Pink Panther at 5:30, so I wanted to get me paper round done.
I said, why didn't you watch the Pink Panther?
And then did the paper.
He went, I can't sit there thinking I've got my paper round to do.
He'll ruin it for him.
Yeah. So is it a good job or not?
So 4:30 I was up and about, and this morning it was like winter, really bad winter, bad snow, you know, freezing cold, really windy and all that. And my mum said to me before I went to bed, she said, don't be getting up tomorrow, I'll give you the 50p. I said, it's not about the 50p. So, you know, people want the papers and stuff. So,
conscientious.
So anyway, I went to bed thinking, you know, that's it, I've told her I'm still going, so, you know, whatever. Go to sleep, get up in the morning, and, put all my kit on. And I used to have layers of clothing on because it was really cold. They had like a big anorak on with the fur on. I had like waterproof pants, and I got my paper round bag. And, I went downstairs to get out, and tried to open the door, and it was locked. I thought, oh, God. So she'd locked it so I couldn't go out. So I'm searching around the house looking for the keys. She must have hid them somewhere. I thought, oh, God, you know, I've got the papers to do. So I thought, how can I get out? So I went upstairs, climbed out of the bathroom window.
God.
Right, and to try and jump out of the bathroom window onto the porch. But the problem was, I had so much gear on, I was like the Michelin Man. So I could hardly move as it is.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to get out the window, and I'm like, trying to stretch down like that, get my foot on the porch, and my bag got caught on like the hook of, do you know, like how you have a hook so you can put the window open?
Right, yeah.
The little arm goes on. My bag had got caught on that. I was holding on to the wall and my foot on the thing, so I couldn't sort of pull it away in case I pulled it away and then fell on my head.
Yeah.
So I'm stuck there.
Dangling.
My dad comes back from working nights.
Yeah.
He thinks I'm a burglar.
Gets out his gun.
So he's shouting and stuff, going mad and going, Dad, it's me. And he had to give us a hand using a...
He's heard that wily trick in Manchester before.
He had to help me using a washing prop thing. a big stick.
What did he do?
Well, he said, just hold on for your dear life, and I'll sort of push the paper bag off the hook.
Why didn't he go upstairs and sort it out?
It was at that point where I was in the middle, there was nothing you could do, do you know what I mean? It's at that point where you've just got to make a decision.
Yeah.
And by the time you got upstairs, who knows what might have happened.
Sure.
Do you know what I mean? You've got to act there and then, no messing around.
Yeah.
So...
And you could hear downstairs, now here he is, the Pink Panther.
Yeah.
Dad!
Hurry up!
Panther, ever so pink. Oh.
So that was close to death, because I must have been about 30 foot in the air.
Yeah.
And I would have, you know, that would have been nasty if I fell to the concrete paving, so...
Well, and, there's more to come. Should we play a record and come back to this? Because he's got more.
Oh yeah, no, there must be one of them where you did fall on your head. This is the one I'm waiting for. There's gotta be one. That would explain so much.
Yeah.
I nearly did. Nearly broke my back.
Jeez.
Once. My dad said I bet I can't kick me out. And I said I bet I can. And,
I don't remember this. You didn't tell me this one.
I bet you can't what?
I was in the garden, summer's day, and it was that era when, like, doing kung fu and all that was really popular.
Sure.
And I was, like, messing about in the garden, punching the tree and stuff. And my dad said...
What a kid he must have been.
My dad said, I bet you can't kick your height.
Kick your height? What, you mean kick as high as yourself?
Yeah, so I must have been, like, 5 foot or something then. And I said, of course I can. So I bet you can't. But instead of doing it on the grass, I did it on, like, the concrete bit. Kicked it, actually did it. I went, there you go. But didn't, like, get my foot down quick enough and land on my back.
You paused to say, there, I've done it.
Yeah.
As opposed to putting your foot back on the ground.
And landed on my back, and I'd still get back trouble now.
Do you?
Because they say that, don't they?
So, to cut a long story short, he gave me about 4 or 5 near-death experiences, and he went, and the whole point of this, he went, so that's why I think I'm gonna die of something horrible, like cancer. And I went, why? He went, right, you ready for this?
Yeah.
He said, well, I don't check my balls. Wait. He said, I don't like the feel.
Carl, always check your balls.
Do you check yours?
Like the feel. Why don't you like the feel of your own balls?
They just... I mean, you know that I don't like bodies anyway.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? It worries me a bit that you've got all that going on in your body, right? And your skin's keeping it all in place.
Right. Stop. We're going down a whole other avenue of discussion. Let's play a track, let's come back to it.
Oh, right, I've brought in this, this is, free. You'll know from the jeans commercials.
Yeah, All Right Now.
Long time ago, All Right Now, yeah. But this is a great little track. This is, My Brother Jack. Stereophonics, Vegas 2 times, XFM 104.9, into the last hour.
Yeah.
And then 3 shows to go.
That's true enough.
Until we're off the air. I'm Ricky Gervais.
With him, Steve Merchant.
Carl.
Oh, yeah.
Alright?
Yeah.
Let's go on, tell you, we cut short last week, weren't we? You had an amazing story about Neil Armstrong, didn't you?
Well, we've been doing quotes, haven't we? Like famous quotes.
Sure.
Yes. I've, gone down in history.
Yeah.
And, I was saying, quotes don't really matter. It's more the situation that you're in than the quote itself.
Go on.
So, like, Neil Armstrong, if he'd have said,
tie bacon round your head.
I'm as happy as a pig in dust.
Yeah, that would have still gone down in history as, like, being the thing that Neil Armstrong said, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But...
Space is driven in mental, probably would have been
but he chose to say something profound and meaningful, to befit the situation. He got it wrong, actually. It's, a small step for man, one giant leap for mankind, but he was meant to say...
Yeah, we discussed this last week, Stop showing off.
Well, no, but people might not have listened last week.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I can't imagine people
we better tell him every week, then.
Yeah, but he said, he should have said, this is one small step for a man.
Yeah.
But anyway, he had a good effort, and that's quite...
And that's an example of what I'm saying. The fact that he got it wrong, but it still went down in history.
Right.
But anyway, the bit that... and it didn't happen anyway, did it?
What do you mean it didn't happen anyway?
That's what a lot of people say. That no one's actually been on the moon.
Ah, yes, of course.
They filmed it in Teddington Studios.
Well, they were saying something about there was shadow on the film, and you wouldn't get shadow on the film, and... There's all sorts of things.
These people that you always quote as they...
Who are they?
Are they living in jars? Are they little fellas in jars?
Look,
Go on.
Do they appear to you in dreams?
I've spoken to different people about it, and there's loads of little things that if you watch that programme, of them being on the moon, there is no way they could have done it.
Right.
Done.
Fine. Yeah.
Done.
Anyway.
That's put to bed.
Yeah.
But anyway, as he was getting back in the spaceship on the moon, or whether it be a TV studio, he said... good luck, Mr. Croucher.
Right.
Have you heard this?
No.
And the reason he said that was because when he was a young kid, and he was I think it was Croucher, but when he was playing as a young kid in his garden, he was playing baseball with his mate, and he chucked the ball to his mate, and his mate hit the ball, and the ball went over the fence to the next door neighbour, right? So he goes, right, I'll just nip over and get the ball. And as he was getting the ball, the window was open to his neighbour's house, and he heard, like, the woman shouting at her husband, saying, I'm not going to be giving you, a bit rude, so if you've got a kid in the car or whatever, turn it down. What, yeah, that's covered that, yeah. Right,
Genius.
I'm not, no matter how many times you ask me, I'm not going to be giving you oral sex. The day I do that, man would have walked on the moon. Right?
Yeah.
He grows up, he gets on the moon, and he remembers all that story, and as he gets back in the spaceship, he says, good luck, Mr. Croucher.
Now, do you know, now, I have to say, I've heard that story before, but when I heard it, the woman said, the day I give you a blowjob is the day the boy next door walks on the moon. Which makes it all the more profane.
Impossible.
And enjoyable. Yeah, and unlikely.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I've heard the same story, Carl.
Yeah.
Look how pleased he is.
I love that.
Right, so not only have you remembered that anecdote, which may or may not be true, but of course you've also proven
The
that,
day I give you a blowjob, that kid in the garden's probably gonna walk on the moon and say something about giant leaps.
Exactly.
But, yeah, you must have heard the thing that it never actually happened.
Yes, we've all heard it. We've all dismissed it as nonsense.
And moved on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And got on with our lives.
Right, Carl.
What?
Should we do, White Van Man?
Oh, you didn't prepare me for that. We better play a track and then I'll, I'll fish out the newspaper and stuff.
This is a good little, little bootleg track here from, Meats and Poultry here. They've, mixed, A with, Outcast.
Right.
Chorus is great.
Is it highly illegal?
It is.
So people shouldn't rush to their tape machines now and press play and
Okay, so
record.
whatever you do, don't record this now if you're recording it. Hold on, don't say anything. Well, that bootleg's going into the name of, Nothing, Miss Jackson, I think, by, Meats and Poultry. So there you go.
I do love these bootleg things, because they're so pointless, but they're so enjoyable.
Yeah,
it's great.
It's fun to do. Yeah,
exactly.
they're
really good
they're
fun.
great. But, not as much fun as White Van, Carl.
White Van Carl, absolutely. Do you want to explain the premise?
Well, we take the Sun asked someone else and asked Carl. It's as simple as that.
That's
The
it.
Sun have just taken a normal person, we flipped it. We're gonna ask Carl the same questions about the week's news.
Yeah, just basically your opinions, Carl, as ever. What do you make of, well, obviously the big news, David Beckham's broken foot? Is this a big concern for you?
No, I mean, it's sad, you know, it's sadder for him more than anyone, because, you know, to like, be in the World Cup is, like, the main thing for him, innit?
Yeah.
But he's still a young lad, and, I don't think he'll give up. I reckon he'll still turn up. He'll be alright. And, yeah, good luck to the lad. You know I like David, I'm not gonna slag him off.
Wise words.
He says that like he knows him. Like he's popping round for drinks later.
Yeah, like we tried to stitch you up. Go on.
But, obviously yesterday, was it yesterday, I think maybe Thursday, the Sun printed a big picture of, David's, foot, and encouraged everyone to touch it at midday, because hoping that this would somehow, if we all thought and prayed together, somehow that would help his foot heal. Do you believe in that?
No.
Do you have any belief in that?
No, you're going down the old, like, Yora Geller route, aren't you?
Sure.
And it's stupid.
Yeah.
I'm sure, I mean, it's nice effort and everything, it sort of cheers everyone up.
Hold on, you believe in ghosts and warlocks and licking toads. Why is that any more stupid than all those things?
It's not gonna work, is it?
Alright.
Fine.
It's rubbish.
Okay.
Okay, what about this then? There's, apparently now available £1.5 million apartments available on an exclusive ship, which sails around the world.
Yeah, it's like,
What do you make of that?
it's a huge thing, and you live on it, and it's, I mean, in theory.
How big is it?
It's mental.
Do you know
it's
when-
like
Huge
a
luxury
town
liner.
centre.
Do you know how,
Because-
like, people say that the Titanic was the biggest ship? Was that only then? They've got
Yes.
bigger ones now, haven't they?
Yeah.
A lot bigger.
Oil tankers are much bigger, and, yeah.
No, but actual
Liners are big. Yeah, it was the biggest then, yeah.
Because my mum told me that there was one that was that big that it had, like, rough areas on it.
Oh, God!
Don't go starboard.
Oh, God!
No, but do you know what I mean?
Right.
It was like
we're thinking of moving. We're seeing
Yeah.
the captain. We're thinking of moving to a nicer area. Oh,
I've heard they're very rough in aft.
Oh, God. Oh, that's
They steal your
fantastic.
tyres.
A ship's so big there was rough areas. Oh.
how big is this one that you're talking about?
Well, I don't know, it doesn't give me the specifications here, but
they're huge. They're huge. In theory, I mean, it's that thing with, it's obviously marketing, but, they're gonna, solve, the, overpopulation crisis where soon we'll all just be floating around the sea, but...
Yeah, I can see that, because I mean, think about it, right? I've been talking to Ricky about it. I was hoping to buy somewhere in London, but there is no way in this world that I can afford it, right? And you look at all the wasted space, like, with the Thames, all it's doing is, like, collecting crisp packets and stuff, and Coke cans, and people have to clean it up, whereas if you got a load of boats on there...
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah. Would you live on a boat?
Problem solved.
What's his name did it, didn't he? What's that programme? Is it Bergerac?
Noah.
Oh.
Bergerac?
There was one where he lived on a boat, I think it's quite...
That was Shoestring.
Yeah, I'd give it a go, anyway.
Noah!
I'd like to see you, living in the air, maybe in a giant hot air balloon.
Yeah, alright. But, no, the boat thing, because it is gonna get bad as well, isn't it? They're saying that the water's melting or whatever.
The water's melting,
The ice is melting.
Yeah.
And there's gonna be more water and less land, so in the future, it's probably gonna be the way we're gonna be living, isn't it?
Have you seen that film Waterworld?
Nah, I don't fancy it.
Because that sort of predicts that, yeah.
What, are they saying that the ice thing
exactly,
will melt?
yeah.
But at the same time, I was thinking about this a couple of weeks ago. If you get, I mean, I think I read that, like, a big chunk of ice, fell off one of the ice, what do you call them?
Caps.
Ice caps. Something like I think they said it's the size of the Empire State Building or something.
Right.
It snapped off and went into the water, and it's melted. And they say, oh, it's bad news, you know, that something that size is melting. But the way I look at it, if something that size falls into the water, it's like a big ice cube, and it's gonna freeze it up again. You with me?
Not really, Carl.
Go on.
Right, you get a giant ice cube, the size of the Empire State Building, stick it in the water, it's gonna make, it's gonna stick back on again, isn't it?
Well, no, only if it freezes up again.
Yeah, well, it will freeze up. The water's gonna get cold again, because you've just put a giant ice cube in the water.
So when you put an ice cube in a drink, the drink doesn't freeze, does it?
No,
the ice melts.
If you put one the size of an Empire State Building in your glass of Jack Daniels, it's gonna make it freezing.
It's not going in a glass of Jack Daniels, it's going in the ocean.
I know, but I'm using my fables. Imagine a world...
Use your brain instead!
Imagine the world, imagine the sea, like the Arctic or whatever, as a glass of Jack Daniels.
Okay.
A big ice cube falls into it.
Yeah.
It freezes, it melts back on again. So we're alright, I don't know why everyone's worrying.
Thank God for that, I was getting panicked.
Oh, fine.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, you're right. Yeah, that will happen.
Should we play some more music and then come back to White
this is better than ever.
This is dynamite this week.
Fine in there on XFM 104.9. We're doing White Van Karl. Got another one there?
Well, it's just your thoughts really on the Queen Mum's very British send-off that she was given this week.
Yeah.
What do you make of all those people queuing up to see her? Did you think that was incredible?
Right. Well, we said last week, you know, there was I don't quite understand why there was so many people there, who were, like, getting really upset. Do you know what I mean? Really upset, crying and stuff, and, you know, you can lose someone who's, like, related to you, and you don't cry like that. You sort of sit there and you think back to what you did with them and stuff, and then that's it. But, the queue thing, wasn't it, like, miles long and stuff?
Yeah.
It was, yeah.
Right, I was sat watching this with Susan.
12 hours queuing.
Yeah.
It never got to 12 hours.
It did, but that was the estimated time.
Now,
but how long is a queue when they're just, like, you know, walking along? Think how far you can sort of, like, you know, stagger in 12 hours.
Incredible.
It's been ridiculous.
Yeah. But, again, you know, if they want to do that, it's their time and that, innit? And it was at the weekend, so they could have... It's not as if they got out of work to do it.
No.
You know what I mean? They used their own time, so good on them. But I thought, right, what they could have done... Remember when I studied Che Guevara?
Yep.
Yeah. Right? And don't be offended by this, it was just an idea, because they did it with Che Guevara. Remember when they cut him up?
Yes, they cut him up, yeah.
What was the reason for cutting him up?
Well, they cut up Che in order to try and, you told us that they were gonna send bits of his body to Fidel Castro and various other people, wasn't that right?
As a warning, wasn't it, though, to all the people, like, one to...
Yeah, my understanding was that they cut him up in order to, so they could bury him in different places, so that there'd be not one place that you could go to in order to sort of make him into a martyr.
A little bit like that. I've, like,
I can vaguely see where this is going.
6 queues, and it's like, number 1, you can, you know, go and pay respect to her head, or whatever.
Oh, God.
No, but I just was thinking the way of speeding it up. I'm not having a go, I'm not, because they haven't done it, so it doesn't matter.
God.
But they did it with Che Guevara.
Yeah.
Everybody would have felt like they've got close to her. And it would have speeded it up.
No, I mean, but I can understand.
Could I just say that genuinely, Karl is not being disrespectful here. This is his best idea to cut down the queues. So don't phone in. He's not suggesting we should have done this. He genuinely is. Well, but I mean, he's not doing it to be nasty or wacky or you know. He thinks this is a good idea. So
can I just throw a thought at you?
Che Guevara, who was like a powerful man, he did a lot for the world and what have you.
Yeah.
And
are you aware that I feel slightly responsible for this, because have you heard of the quote, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing?
Yeah.
Okay. Steve, next one?
No, just a very quick question. I can understand those that have queued for 12 hours to see the head. I'd be a little bit annoyed if I got there to find a toe.
I'll tell you what though, I'll tell you what they could do without chopping her up. They could put about 9 queues, each could see each hip she had.
That's true enough.
Because she'd have about 9 of them, so it'd just be, if you want to see the whole body, it's a 12-hour queue. If you just want to see a couple of the hips.
Here's another suggestion for you, I've just thought, right?
What?
Instead of everyone queuing to see her, why not put her on a trolley and wheel her past everyone else?
Running. So
yeah, you could have some students on Rag Week, they could combine it, like when they're always pushing a bed. You know, they could just run it along the queue.
No, that'd be fantastic. That'd be disrespectful.
Right, as opposed to the chopping up.
So.
Sure.
Right. But just an idea.
Just I apologise now if anyone's offended.
Anyone offended, I'm sorry, but...
Yeah. Okay, finally, this is more frothy. Liz Hurley lying low, apparently, at Elton John's house to try and avoid the press now that she's had a child.
That's a good place to go to avoid the press.
Exactly.
Yeah, yeah, Elton John's house.
Everyone seems to be friends with Elton John, don't they? Every celebrity's
when
friends
did he pop into Elton John's house? What is he running some sort
But it was like when Robbie Williams was a drunkard and a drug addict, he went to Elton John's.
Yeah, and who's the other fellow that went there as well? What's someone to, you know, to recuperate and, shoulder to cry on? Is he giving out false passports?
But I don't know if people have seen his history. He's not the man of, you know, I mean, I know he's cleaned himself up now, but, you know, maybe that's it. Maybe he's got this kind of insight into, how to deal with celebrity.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I think it's just genuine mates with him. I think he's just like a friendly bloke.
I think she's been doing too much lying low in the first place. That's part of the problem, isn't it?
High five, Karl.
That was a genuine joke from Karl there. And he's so proud of himself. Look at his little face.
Too much lying low.
Oh, that was my man,
I agree with you. Why can't she just go around to her mum and dad's or something rather than Elton John where everyone's looking? Yeah.
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 That's the point, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that was good, yeah.
Very good, yeah. Right, what music we got? We got,
bit of Flaming Lips.
Flaming Lips, excellent. There's the classic Race for the Prize. Should have been a big hit, never was, sadly. The Flaming Lips and Race for the Prize. Just playing that, Rick, for everyone who emails us saying. We get a lot of emails every week, but we obviously don't really respond to them because we're very lazy people. But we obviously appreciate it. And I play that particularly for Claire, who's emailed in saying her friend Sarah Prosser would like some Beatles. We're not going to play the Beatles this week, but Sarah apparently loves us more than words can express.
More than Karl could express.
Absolutely.
I'm going to stop you there, Steve. You want some adverts? Spread your love on XFM 104.9. I'm Ricky Gervais with me, Steve Mitchell. And now it's Karl's bit. It's the re-education of Karl. He's like Liza Doolittle. And now he's coming, or Lawnmower Man, if you've seen that film. More like Lawnmower Man, if you've seen the film. You'll know what I mean. And his homework was to just study quotes, really, on happiness and stuff and general well-being. He's not a big happiness, quote fan, are you, Karl?
Not really.
So what have you done? You've come up with something, haven't you?
Right, yeah, I told you, right? Because a lot of these are just things you say every day. They're nothing special. So what I'm doing...
Well, you say them every day.
Well, the sort of things you come out with and you don't even think about it, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're on the TV all the time. People on the radio are saying these sort of little quotes.
Sure.
And, what I've done is, remember that programme on Channel 4, Faking It?
Yeah.
Where they got some, like, posh kid to be on a door and all that. What I've done, I've,
Imagine if that was the pitch for the show. Dear Channel 4. Just gonna get a posh kid on a door or something?
Yeah, yeah,
Yours
come
sincerely,
in,
Karl.
come in. Yeah.
TV producer.
Yeah, yeah, go on.
So, what I've done, this little book of quotes, happiness quotes, I've picked 2 that are real.
Okay.
And I've made one up. Right?
And we've got a guess.
And you've got to guess.
Okay, then, go on.
Well, I'll tell you what, Rick, why don't we, when we've heard them, we won't confer.
No.
You'll write down yours, A, B, or C, and I'll write down mine, and we'll see how it
Okay,
works.
Karl, off you go.
Right, and just because I'm looking at this book, it doesn't mean I'm actually reading.
No, I know,
Don't worry, we're clever.
No, we know, we can't see,
Like, call my bluff.
Yeah, go on then.
Nothing is worth more than this day.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright.
Yeah.
The way I see it...
Oh God, my head's gonna burst.
No, hang on.
My head's gonna burst.
No,
Hang
no,
on.
this might not be Carl's.
It might not be.
How do you know I haven't tweaked them a little bit?
Yeah, good
Okay,
point.
fair
Good
enough.
point. No, good point.
The way I see it, if you want the rainbow, you got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, okay.
Alright?
Alright, yeah.
Okay, hang on. It's not here.
Come on.
Cat food.
Cat food, go on.
It stinks of it. But, if you don't put up with the smell, the little kitten will die.
Steve! I don't know what to say! I don't know what to say. Imagine this in faking it. Imagine their faces when he says that and they're going, oh my God.
Oh.
Carl, play a song, mate.
We'll have to confer on this one.
By Blair. Well, that's just amazing, Carl. Just read them again. Two were real, one was fake. Go on then.
Right. First one. Nothing is worth more than this day.
Excellent. Next one.
What does that mean?
Well, cherish now, cherish your time.
Okay.
Because you can't get it back, and
Yeah.
you know.
That's the way I saw it.
Carpe diem, whatever it is, seize the day and all that.
Okay. If you want the rainbow, you've got to put up with the rain.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, rough with the smooth. You know, it's not all plain sailing, but you know, rainbow's beautiful, but it comes because of the rain, which you might not like. So
Yeah.
make the most of everything, and yeah. Good.
Cat food doesn't smell good, but if you don't put up with it, then the little kitten will die.
Right, no, Carl, that is a good effort. Now that one's yours. I mean, obviously, right? Right, no, but it's a good effort, right?
I mean, it slipped seamlessly into the others.
Yeah.
Don't think it didn't.
No, but it's good. I mean, we knew it was that one, but, what I will say is, it's good, but what you don't know, maybe subconsciously, is, I mean, it's very similar to, the putting up with the rain and the rainbow, but that's good.
Why do you think that?
Well...
What does mine mean?
Well, even though it smells bad, it's good for something.
Right,
So
see,
that's
I didn't look at it like that.
What do you look at that?
I kind of thought...
Was yours more specifically about cat food, generally? Because you know, normally it's an analogy.
Yeah, or a metaphor for something, you know, much bigger.
Well, no, the way
I mean,
looked at it-
Dolly Parton, who I think did the rain thing, she wasn't specifically concerned about weather conditions.
No.
It was a sort of general idea.
It's all about life.
Yeah. Well, that's what I've done.
Go on,
I've used an everyday thing
Yeah.
and put it with today's problems, right?
Go on.
So, like, my girlfriend, yeah? She might like to go shopping for clothes. I hate it.
Right.
But because I love her, I put up with it.
Ah, that's nice.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So, you love that little kitten. You can't stand the smell of the stuff you gotta feed it. But because you love it, you go, well, you know, I'll put up with this just for a few minutes, and then I can, like, squeeze its head later and give it a little...
Sorry. Can we go back?
You know, stroke its head and stuff.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Sorry, it was a bit of a slip, was it?
Squeeze its little head.
Yeah.
Well, that's just the thing that I do with cats.
Put it in a bag and drown it in a lake.
I can feed it and then I can throw it against the wall.
Exactly.
So you didn't see it like that, did you?
No, that's very good. So it's about love, is it? It's about putting up with the bad things for something you love.
Yeah.
Well, that's nice.
But Carl, you seem now to be convinced and rather smug that you've tricked us and that you've fooled us and that we didn't understand it. Well, I say that's your fault, not ours.
No, it's not, though. I mean, look, that man in Forrest Gump, he was a bit of a nutter. And he came up with the life as a box of chocolates thing.
Yeah.
Now, if that was in this book, you say, oh yeah, brilliant, you know, good bit of work. But if he was sat here doing the show with you, you'd be taking the mickey out of him.
Sometimes I feel he is.
No, but, Carl, I could, in fact, if people are out there, we're too lazy, could you write down everything Carl's ever said? Because I think we could publish that.
Yeah.
He said one today, he saw my, salamander, it's not a euphemism, he saw my salamander and it's just sitting there in the tank.
Your exotic pet.
Yeah, and he's worried about there not being a lid on, and he said, I went, what were you worried about? He said, well, he said it sits there for 24 hours a day, obviously planning to get out.
Well, he's got nothing else on its mind, and it's the daft thing is he has actually got the lid ripped up a little bit. Like, it's got nothing else to think about. And it'll be looking up there, and it's gonna get out.
But what's the worst that could happen?
What's it thinking? What do you think it's thinking, this salamander?
It's got its eye on the DVD player. I can have Ian be down the market.
Well...
Oh, God!
Are they dangerous?
Can I just say something?
Are they dangerous?
I think the salamander's thinking exactly the same things as you. I mean, to look at you, you've got the same expression on your face. You know what I mean? You're dressed in green as well. You've got a little round sort of Hamburglar type head, like the salamander. Very similar. And yet I think, and you bonded with it, didn't you?
Yeah, but I probably would have tried to get out, but my little paper round bag would just hang on the corner.
Yeah.
Listen, can we have more nepotism on the show? I know that we did that earlier with the teacher
haven't got long, have we?
We haven't. My housemate, you remember I was working out with him last week to Helen from Big Brother's dancercise video.
That's just frightening.
Yeah, we've kind of let that slip a little bit, I've got to be honest. But anyway, he's joined this band. They're called Fujiya and Miyagi. Slightly difficult to pronounce, but anyway, this is a track that I think's been getting some play by Nick Luscombe and John Kennedy on XFM. They got a gig this week at the Pool on Curtin Road. That's 18th of April, Thursday. Let's play it.
Can I just say I've got a fridge freezer for sale, 400 quid or nearest offer.
Fujiya and Miyagi performing live Thursday the 18th of April at the Pool on Curtin Road. Admission is free, Rick, so I imagine you'll be heading down there.
Yeah, I will. Well, I've enjoyed this show.
Yeah, it's been a good one.
It's great. It's been great. Carl, any more? Oh, tell that story that you were telling me about your dad when he was driving.
Well, it's just that you were talking about, well, I mentioned Forrest Gump.
Yeah.
And, the Forrest Gump types. When my dad was when he was a taxi driver.
Yeah.
You used to have to, sort of do your bit for the local area.
Oh, God.
By taking the Forrest Gump people to Blackpool.
Yeah.
Is that what they're called now, the Forrest Gump people? Is that what the organisations that support them ask for them to be referred to
a minibus with Life is a Box of Chocolates.com.
Well,
Forrest Gump types.
It must be, so you work with these people.
It was,
the people with learning difficulties.
Yeah, and they used to get 5
Coming home must have been a busman's holiday.
So he got 5 of them in the cab.
Yeah.
And he had to go to Blackpool, and 4 of them were really good, you know, behaving themselves, didn't mess about, weren't fighting and stuff, but there was one who was just causing loads of trouble and he couldn't control him. Oh, and what you've got to be able to do with people like that, you don't want them to get stressed out because it's not good for them. It stresses them out, and you could end up with a bit.
Thanks, Dr. Karl.
You could end up with a bit of a riot on your hands. So he thought, I'll nip this one in the bud right now, and he pulled up just on the outskirts of Blackpool. And, he took the one out that was causing problems and put it in a wheelie bin.
Oh, no. Oh, I'm sorry. I apologise.
He did what?
Oh,
He did it for the good of the others. He put it in a wheelie bin. It was having a good time. He thought it was one of the rides.
Can you stop saying it?
Him.
Yeah.
He was having a good time, and once he calmed down, my dad went back and picked him up, and he was fine, he had a good time.
What, he left him in there the whole time the others were in Blackpool?
No, he left him there, not the whole day, probably about an hour and a half.
In a wheelie bin?
In a wheelie bin.
Why couldn't he get out?
Because, like, his arms were trapped on the thing. It's one of those,
What, he tied him up?
No, do you know, like, because he was a big fella, and, like, he managed to get him in so his arms were down the side like that, so he was a bit trapped.
Wasn't he screaming and crying and stuff?
He was making a bit of noise, but, do you know what I mean?
What, you feel served him right?
Well, but anyway, I didn't really want to talk about it. He just brought it up because of Forrest Gump.
Did his, family know about this? Is this the first time they'd have heard about this?
He didn't get asked to do it again. Because he had another problem similar to it where he had a little minibus, and it was his job to take a load of old women to the bingo hall, and it was miles away. And he took him there. There was no problem. About 10 old women in a minibus.
One of them was causing trouble, so he pulled over it.
No, right. So he took him there. Everything's fine. He dropped him off. They had a lovely night. Yeah. Right. They had a lovely night. Won a bit of cash. Coming back, it's a bit of a late night, and they all started moaning at him, going, "I want to be dropped off here. Take me there. I want to be dropped off first. I've got to get up early. Blah blah. You know, my husband's expecting me. I'm already late. Take me here first. Take me there." And he just pulled up. In the middle of nowhere, said, "Get out." And he made them get out, and they all called for taxis. They charged that company who was meant to be taking him home in the minibus, and he got the sack. But a similar sort of story. You can't be dealing with it when people don't sort of just calm down and, like, solve the situation.
Yeah.
They're just all like, I want to be dropped off first, take me here first, take me...
Yeah, so he acts like a madman. Good.
Oh, that was
Alright, we've got a crack on, haven't we, really? We got,
Says so much. Yeah.
Yes, Nick Drake, a song for the ladies this week from the album Brighter Later at the Time of a City Clock. That's
Goodbye.
it. Yeah,
Goodbye.
see you next time.
Bye.
Xin chào các mọi người. Và hôm nay bên em lại về một chiếc xe Hyundai i10 sản xuất 2014. Chiếc xe phiên bản màu đỏ và động cơ 1.0 số san. Chiếc xe này thì đã qua mùa ống lũ rồi, vì vậy là có một cái mức giá rất là rẻ. Tuy nhiên là trước khi báo giá thì em sẽ quay tổng thể chiếc xe. Và bên em này về rất nhiều các dòng xe khác nữa, qua mùa ống lũ mọi người nhé. Đậu bên kia đường một dãy này của xe em hết đấy. Bây giờ em sẽ quay tổng thể con xe này. Và mọi người muốn đến xem thì check thì cứ đến xem trực tiếp, và em sẽ mở máy ra và cũng cho mọi người đi thử luôn. Còn hiện tại bây giờ em chỉ quay review nhanh thôi, để còn quay các con xe khác. Con này 2014 bản 1.0 số san Hyundai i10 màu đỏ. Mới về thêm con Gervais 2019 ở bên kia nữa cơ. Tí em sẽ quay cho mọi người xem luôn. Hyundai i10 bản 1.0 rất là tiết kiệm xăng đấy. Bên kia đường là con Gervais 2019 mọi người nhé, turbo. Tí em sẽ quay. Và em sẽ quay bây giờ em sẽ quay nội thất con này, quay qua cho mọi người xem. Nói chung nó qua mùa ống lũ nhưng mà nội ngoại thất nó rất là đẹp. Đây, nội thất của nó mọi người có thể thấy là rất là đẹp. Con này bản thiếu vì vậy là không có bệ tì tay đâu. Tuy nhiên là da ghế mọi thứ rất là ok. Đấy, nhìn qua thì rất là đẹp. Hàng ghế trước thì mọi người có thể thấy là da ghế, hàng ghế chính đã được bọc, vô lăng đã bọc. Đấy, mọi thứ rất ok, phanh tay, DVD tiếp kem nồi đầy đủ, mọi thứ rất là ok. Đấy. Nói chung là mới đây thì qua mùa ống lũ thì nó rất là nhiều xe. Tuy nhiên là tùy tình trạng từng con mà báo giá nó khác nhau. Các bạn cũng đừng so sánh với những dòng xe nó chuẩn. Xe chuẩn không lỗi thì giá nó rất là đắt. Tuy nhiên là những dòng xe đã lỗi rồi, ví dụ là đã ngập nước hay là đã đụng vào sắt xi thì giá đương nhiên phải rẻ rồi. Không có gì phải bàn nữa cả. Con này tay nắm cửa mạ chrome, lốp la răng cũng rất là mới nhé. Và lốp la răng rất là mới, đi còn dài dài. Và các dòng xe này nó có hệ thống gọi là chống trộm nữa. Rất là chất. Xe màu đỏ, hơi đồng bóng một chút. Đấy. Số sàn thì tiết kiệm nhiên liệu nhưng mà lại hơi khó đi. Nói chung mua những con dòng xe này nó nhỏ gọn thế này thì đi đứng nó cũng dễ. Đi vào các đường thành phố hay là ngõ ngách nó rất là dễ, đơn giản. Đấy, cái xe thì chỉ có vậy thôi. Và chiếc xe này với em do bán với một mức giá là 90 triệu cho một chiếc xe mà nó đã bị qua mùa lũ rồi. Mọi vào bên em nó fix hết lỗi rồi. Mọi người chỉ việc đi thôi. Đi trên môi trường nắng đưa con đi học. Nói chung là thế thôi. Vì nó đã có lỗi rồi thì các bạn biết rồi đấy. Ai mua thì liên hệ sớm với em. Nếu em ghim đã bán thì không còn nữa, còn em chưa ghim gì thì vẫn còn. Xin chào cả mọi người nhé. Ai mua liên hệ sớm, xin chào.
It's the clips that you wanted. Karl Pilkington in the chair now. The talked about the acclaimed educating Ricky.
Right, well, just in case anyone's new, doesn't normally listen. Yeah. Basically, I'm educating Ricky. Yeah. Do a bit of research in a week, find stuff, news, history, anything that's interesting. 3 stories, I give them a nice little headline. You take your pick.
Between now and 3, you're going to learn 3 things. Yeah?
Yeah.
So, the headlines are, I'll be no buying one of them.
Give us that again.
I'll be no buying one of them.
Nice, okay.
Yeah. We've also got, hippopotamus news.
Okay. Okay.
And, can you believe it?
Can you believe it?
Well, I'm going to go with hippopotamus news.
Hippopotamus news?
Hippopotamus news.
Right, well this one, it's, I'm not going to take the credit here. I heard Christian talking about this on breakfast, right, because it's a good story that happened. Basically, I don't know if I told you about it last week when we were having our spaghetti, but,
I think you did.
Right,
I know what it is. I know what this is.
Okay, I've not heard this.
right, there's a little midget, right, there's a circus,
I'm loving it already.
circus going on somewhere, I think it was in America. And,
Is that present day or old times?
I'm talking like in the last 3 weeks.
Okay.
Right? Little midget, circus, really packed out show, people are loving it.
Right, Steve, you'll ask the same question I did, I know.
So there's a little midget jumping up and down on a trampoline.
What circus is this?
Right?
I pay good money to see it.
So everyone's clapping and he's getting carried away.
Because he can't believe he can't believe they're loving it. I didn't know they'd like a little person on a trampoline, but they love me.
But you know what it's like when, if there's a crowd of people sort of encouraging you to sort of go higher and stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm sure he knew it was getting out of hand. But he was jumping and he was coming down the road going higher and he's going really high in the air, right? So he's doing this, crowd are clapping. There's a hippo, right, just sat next to the trampoline getting ready to come on and do his act.
Oh, right, I thought he was in the audience.
There's a hippo getting ready to do his act, Steve.
Yeah.
So
he's a ventriloquist.
What do you mean he's sitting by the trampoline waiting to do his act?
Because
why does he sit in the dressing room and they go, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss, 5 minutes, Mr. Muss.
So anyway, right, so the hippo's there,
He's getting annoyed, is he? Because the midget's
He's going,
into
how
his
can I
time.
follow this? How
Yeah.
can I, this is really annoying. They're going to be, no.
so
He's thinking, he's already done the trampoline, my pogo stick out, he's never going to work.
Yeah, go on, so there's a hippo waiting. See, it's a great story and I just know he embellishes it or he gets slightly wrong. Go on.
So
there's a midget jumping up and down, the hippo's getting annoyed.
The crowd are going mad, the midget's loving it, can't believe his luck. Although you think, he probably knows he's dicing with danger.
Yeah. So, next thing you know, they're all saying higher. He gives it one big, like, heavy sort of landing on the trampoline, goes really high, but goes off at a funny angle.
Oh.
Hypotenuse.
Okay.
Yeah. And sort of flies off.
Hypotenuse!
Sure.
Flies off at a funny angle.
Ooh, dear.
Hippo's there, swallows him whole. Crowd are clapping, thinking that's why the hippo was waiting there.
Rubbish. Rubbish.
It's not rubbish though.
But no, maybe there was an accident in a circus with a midget and a hippo, but at no point was this hippo waiting to go on, going, come on. The midget flew off at hypotenuse and landed in the hippo's mouth and was swallowed whole. This is what you embellish it. That is great. And
I have to say though, Rick, when I heard midget, trampoline, hippopotamus, I was thinking accident waiting to happen.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Maybe. I mean,
it is that you should never put those three together.
Never.
It's a recipe for disaster. Everyone knows that. Midget, trampoline, hippopotamus. Are you mental?
You're asking for trouble.
Well,
you know when he told me it, he said, and the midget, he didn't mention the hippopotamus, and he said the midget went on, and soon he fell off, and the hippo ate him. And I said, sorry, what was the hippo doing there? He went, it's a circus.
I've never heard of a circus having a hippo.
What do hippos do?
What can they do? You can't train them, can you? Aren't they, like, very deadly? They're huge, aren't they?
You can't have a hippo in a circus. You're not thinking of Zippo.
He's neither clown.
Yeah. It wasn't some sort of where Zippo was eating a midget and it's some sort of horrible sexual act.
No, it was definitely. I heard it on breakfast, right?
Oh, okay, sorry.
No, it's definitely fact.
Yeah, okay, right, okay, good. Well, let's play a record then.
4.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. It's the best of. You've been voting in all week, sending your emails.
So here's the clips that you wanted. Me and Carl went out, right? With me and Jane, Carl and Johnny and Gigi, wasn't it?
Gigi,
is it important who went?
No.
Okay.
But we're walking on the street. Carl was there though, and he can back me up on this. We had a curry. We were walking back, and this little funny homeless fella, didn't he?
Mm.
He I got to tell it before I go, didn't he?
Yes.
He came up to me, right? And he recognised it. And he came up to me and he went, oh! He said, I've just nicked 5 of your DVDs from HMV. And he shook my hand. He was so happy with it. And I went, right, excellent. He went, all I do is I just swing the bag over the top. Like that, when I'm going out. And he had a bag full of DVDs, didn't he? And he was so pleased to tell me that he'd stolen. That great.
He said they're going like hotcakes.
Yeah, he said they're going like, of course they are!
Yeah, you're nicking them.
I know, we get paid for them though, don't we?
So not the stolen ones?
Don't we?
No. What do you mean? Did you sign them for him? I tell you idiot. What, so, he just nicked 5...
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
You say he was homeless, was he?
Well, he don't know, maybe.
No.
Surely, how would he have seen the show? He'd just walked past Curry's one morning.
Dixon's.
Yeah.
Yeah, tell you,
Seen a trailer for it, thought, interesting.
I don't know if he was homeless, I didn't go into his home life.
He shook his hand, though, and...
But he made Carl look smart, do you know what I mean? So, how does he sell them? Where does he sell them? Does he go to people and go, do you want an Office DVD? They're not nicked.
Yeah.
£4.
Yeah, exactly. Are these stolen?
No. They've still got the tags on them.
Well, it's like those people who, you're those cab drivers that you'll meet at sort of 3 in the morning who've just got a car.
Yeah.
And just went out with a car.
Yeah.
And just, I'll pick people up and charge them.
Yeah.
I got in one once, I said to him, the guy just pulled up, I said, he said, I was in like, East London, I'm going back to, North London. I said, yeah, going to, Swiss Cottage. He went, sure, hop in. We set off, he went, do you know the way? I said, well, not really, no. I thought you'd know the way. You're in a cabbie, aren't you? He went, no, don't really know the way there. I said, have you got an A to Z? He went, no. I thought, well, if you're going to go out just on the, just winging it as a cab driver, two things, take a map and a torch. He didn't have either. He said, well, I'll probably get to Camden. I said, right, I'll direct you from there. Drove on for about 5 minutes, making conversation. About 5 minutes later, he went, do you know the way to Camden? I thought you knew the way to Camden. I don't really know the way. I thought it was...
Oh.
It was...
Let me out. £4.
Exactly. And that's... I don't know who's got that sort of time on their hands, that they just think, it's 3 in the morning, I'm at a loose end. I think I'll go out doing a bit of cabbing.
Wow. Yeah.
Because your dad was a cabbie, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was, yeah. Couldn't stand it, but it's good money.
He was he wasn't like a chancer, though.
What was he doing when he put that little Forrest Gump in a wheelie bin?
That was part of the cab company thing. They had to do like a charity event once a year, and he did it one year. Never asked him again.
Tell us the story again.
I'd rather not, because we got a few sort of complaints about it.
Why? Why did you get complaints about it?
Because he put a kid in a bin, and it's not the thing to do. So,
but we could use it as a sort of sobering lesson for people.
Yeah, tell it like a, you shouldn't do it.
No, yeah, but that's how I did it last time, but people still didn't like it. All the stuff I tell you, we don't take the mickey out of people on purpose.
No.
It's real life, innit? And that goes on in life.
Yeah.
My dad was saying that in hospital, though. Do you know I was in hospital?
Yeah.
He did some jokes about old people and that, and he said at the end of the day, if something makes you laugh, it's funny. Do you know what I mean? So, what are you meant to do? And laughing's good for you.
Yeah.
So...
But being laughed at isn't as good for you, is it?
No, but there's probably more people laughing at one person, so if you balance it out, there's only one person who's upset and there's a bunch of people laughing. So, it's...
Genius! Give me an example of that, give me an example.
Well, for instance, Karl Pilkington as he talks and the people listening.
Yeah, no, give me an example of like, so,
I can't, because again, that's what I'm saying, I can't tell you the story, because there might be someone out there who... This person might even be listening and think, I forgot about that and you brought it all back to me then. Yeah. So, I'd prefer to leave it, but I think people know...
Why did he put him in the bin in the first place?
Because he was getting out of hand.
What was he doing, though?
You see, I can't explain without...
You can! Don't be silly!
I prefer to leave it, honestly.
What was he doing? Was he annoying him?
He was annoying my dad and the other people in the cab.
Right.
And he thought, how can I deal with this before it gets too out of hand?
Yeah.
He pulled over and put the lad in a wheelie bin.
I'm gonna bet.
So we'll leave that.
XFM 104.9. Ricky and I are on holiday. Obviously, it's Christmas time, but Karl is here in the studio. He's pressing buttons. All right, Karl?
All right.
What do you make of the first genetically modified baby?
Oh.
Are you worried about this?
Do you know what did they do? What?
Let me see what it says here.
Well, isn't it just choosing the, you know, eye colour?
Well, this is the concern, isn't it? That in the future you'll be able to decide whether it's a boy or a girl, how intelligent it is, what it looks like, is it handsome, is it ugly? Obviously, no one will choose an ugly baby, and so on and so on and so on. And so it means that, you know, where will it lead? Where will it end, Karl? Are you concerned?
I've thought about this a lot.
What will us three look like in the future if they're being, you know, genetically modified beautiful people? What will we be like? How will we be considered in society?
True, yeah. But we've talked about this before, haven't we? About the cloning thing.
Yeah.
That's a bit weird.
Yeah.
But I don't think it matters, because at the end of the day, right, you might look like some other kid, but it's the way you're brought up that will change your features and the way you are, you know, your personality.
If you lie, you get a long nose, don't you?
Well, no, but listen, right, because I remember when we, you know, I was growing up on this estate.
This is going to be good. Go on.
No, it's not. It's just an example of how this doesn't work.
Go on.
So we don't need to worry, sort of thing.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
So, growing up on this estate, and there was this woman about 4 houses down, right, who's a bit rough. Alright?
Didn't fancy her.
Oh, God, no. Right, but she had a baby.
Well, tell me about her first. I'm interested in this woman. Why was she?
It was a very...
She looked like a man in a dress.
I mean, I didn't grow up in a posh house or anything, and I'm not saying that if you live in a bit of a rough house, you're a bad person.
What did she look like?
But anyone can
Tattoos?
clean up.
Looked like Tony Green with a fag on.
They didn't clean up much, right?
Oh.
Which, even if you've not got a lot of money, you can still try and make the place look nice.
Yeah.
Right? But she didn't, and a kid used to take a horse into the house.
Sorry.
Whoa,
Neddy. What do you mean a kid used to take a horse into the house? Where did they get a horse?
Must have nicked it from somewhere. Must have done.
So you've seen a horse in it? No.
What, is that from outside the saloon round the corner?
Yeah, was it just tied up with a bit of leather?
Right?
Oh, that's great. Did Big Jake come looking for it?
I'd been out.
Oh. No, sorry, let me get this. This was before the lynching stopped or after.
Where did he get a horse from? What do you mean he must have nicked it? His mum said, where'd you get that from? I bought it. All right, then. But keep it out of the kitchen.
I don't want you going Catlin rustling.
Where did he get a horse from, Karl? And how long did he have it for? Was he leading it or riding it? Mum, open the door, I can't stop!
I can't stop it! Open the patio door as well,
Looks like we got us a runaway! What do you mean?
I don't know, but the thing is, they couldn't afford to buy one because they're not cheap. So I'm just guessing. Maybe that's wrong of me. But I think...
He had a horse?
Yeah, right. So
that's why the family didn't have any money, they'd spend it on the horse.
No, I don't think, that's what I'm saying, I don't think they would have bought it. So anyway...
Yeah, it's wise to whisper, Karl, in case they're listening.
Yeah, and
they could be in the room next door.
It's not buying it, it's keeping it as well. Oh,
so I was like in the car with my dad coming into the avenue, and you used to have to drive down it to turn round. And, and you know, sort of go back to our house.
You had the traditional method of transport. Yeah.
And the horse was in the lounge,
reading a paper,
just like walking around.
Oh God! What?
And when I was doing, I tried to earn myself some money once by flogging little flowers in plastic cups.
What? This is genius. It just keeps coming. What do you mean you're trying to flog little flowers? What do you mean?
Wait. Let's play a record. Let's play a record and come back to this, because the story's going to just unravel and unravel. It's going to go for hours. Let's play a track,
deeper and deeper. It's like an onion, isn't it?
We've created a whole world here where there's a man living with a horse.
Just walking around the lounge.
I come from the West Country, I've never heard anything like that.
I just think of a big sort of like orange carpet and it's got a rediffusion telly and this horse going, I'm fed up in here.
Exactly.
This is really...
I am not taking the rubbish out again.
Yeah.
Right, play a record. Let's have Velvet Underground. We've got that lined up.
Oh,
yeah, the classic from the first album. I'm waiting for the man. Let's come back to the horse in a second.
Little flowers in pots. What do you mean?
Velvet Underground and Nico, which apparently peaked at a disappointing 171 in the US charts.
Think of that.
And that's obviously Lou Reed, the Velvet Underground, and Waiting for the Man.
Yeah, great track. So, we were talking, we were doing White Van Man, and, we got onto,
genetically modified babies, but
and
somehow
then Carl started telling a story about someone with a horse, and then he got onto, he was trying to make money selling flowers. Just do the flowers briefly.
Well, hang on, I just want to recap slightly. So there was a family, and who had the horse in the family?
It was...
Because you lived on an estate in Manchester.
The mother was a right pig, apparently.
Well,
I don't know if that's relevant.
You don't need to go that far. But what I'm trying to do is, like, make a picture for you so you understand.
What does she look like? Who did she look like?
Bit of a... and no disrespect to her. Bit like Pauline Quirk.
Quirky, yeah.
Right?
Okay. I knew you were going to say that. Yeah. I knew it was going to be Pauline. Did she have any tats?
I've never got that close to it.
Okay, alright.
So who had the horse? Was this her son or her husband?
No, her daughter.
Her daughter had stolen a horse?
Yeah, from, I don't know where, there was I think there was some stables down the road or something.
And they kept the horse in the house with them?
They kept it in the house.
Did they
didn't
get
have
caught?
it for long.
No.
Sorry, and you said you were in the house one day and you saw the horse in there?
What happened was, I was, they did this thing at school about raising money for charity, right? For some local charity. And they said you can do anything to raise money, and they came out with all these ideas, and I thought, that's good.
What was the charity?
Well, I don't know, I thought, forget the charity.
Yeah, that's just a good money-making overweight. So, you're a charity.
So, so I asked my mum for some, 'cause she used to have a lot of flowers around the house.
Sure.
I said, can I just take some snippings off them? And, I'll go and buy some plastic cups. And, got some soil out of the garden, planted the bits of plants in them.
Yeah.
Got a tray.
Yeah.
Had about 25 plants on it, selling them for 25 pence each.
Excellent. Did you sell any?
Yeah, sold loads.
Did you just cut, you didn't just cut them and stick them in the soil?
Yeah, they wouldn't have survived. But I think people sort of thought, well, good on him for trying. But anyway, so I went round to theirs, because I thought their house could do with a bit of colour and stuff.
Yeah.
So it's a bit rough. So as I went...
The horse went, thank God for that breakfast. They've been feeding me kitty cat.
So I got up to the door, and they opened the door, and it was one of them houses where no carpet.
Yeah, a horse in the living room.
You know.
We've all been there.
And the horse was walking around the living room.
Oh.
I looked quite happy and everything, because I always say that about animals.
Black Beauty was on.
Yeah. Well, think about it, right? If you were a horse, where would you rather be? In a little wooden hut with a load of hay, or in like a house with a
central heating,
3-piece suite and a telly and that?
Telly and that.
No, but I was saying this the other day.
And an Atari,
right? I was walking through London.
Commodore 64, rubbish.
Exactly.
Walking through London with Suzanne, right? Yeah. And you know, like homeless people always have dogs. And she said, "Oh, I hope she looks after it." I said, that dog is happier than most dogs,
right?
Because people always walk past and give it a pat on the head.
Yeah.
It's with its owner all the time.
Yeah.
It's out in the open. It's not locked up in a house.
Yeah.
It doesn't eat, but other than that,
no, it does eat though. They're always all right. So that's what I was saying. I think this horse was doing all right for itself. Do you know what I mean?
Well, not many horses have got their own house.
Exactly.
For a start, yeah.
But anyway, that's
by the by.
Yeah. So anyway, this family. It was a bit, what we were talking about, it was about cloning...
Genetically modified kids and all that stuff, yeah.
Right, now what I'm saying is, you could say, you know, right, Steve, you could have a baby, right? And Ricky could see it and say, God, I want one that looks like that.
Yeah.
Right?
It could happen, Rick.
So...
Come on, work with him.
So you take it to your doctors, and I don't know what they do, they inject it with something or whatever.
Yep, that's how it's done.
Yeah.
And get a little baby, and there it is, it looks the same. Now the thing is, you separate, you both go off and do your own things.
Yep.
Right? Now, you look at Stephen, you look after your baby.
Yeah.
You treat it well, you give it good food and
I'm a good dad.
all the vitamins and stuff.
Yeah.
Ricky just gives it cheese. Right? So then it changes its looks, it goes a bit fat. You know, it gets tired easily, and that sort of thing. Now, when this family...
Why am I just feeding a baby cheese?
Right, this family who had a horse in their house.
Yeah.
They had a little baby, and my mum went round and said, "You're not going to believe this, but it's a beautiful looking baby," right?
Yeah.
And I was like, well, you know. And the weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, they didn't really look after it. And I'm not saying, like, abusing it, but it used to run around, it used to play out till, like, 10 at night.
Yeah.
It used to chase cars.
Right.
It was a bit...
Did it have hooves?
Yeah, no. Chase cars!
Right.
What sort of kid chases cars? Oh, God.
Now,
was it called Rover? Did it catch sticks?
It's Liam, it was called, right?
Right.
Now... The weird thing is, it was a good-looking kid, but as time went on, and all that, like, not eating properly and its hair was all patchy...
It's not Liam Gallagher, is it?
and chasing cars and that, and it became an ugly kid.
It's definitely Liam Gallagher.
And that's what I'm saying, right? You can clone all you like, but at the end of the day, it's how you brought up.
Brilliant. Wow. Life.
Wow.
That was a hell of a point.
Oh, God.
But am I right?
You're always right, Carl. I'm Ricky Gervais, with me, Steve and Carl. Carl, why have you got a headache? You got a headache?
Just a bit stressful because the moves on this week.
Are you moving house?
Oh, by the way, the XFM listeners came round to my house and bought the futon and table.
Did they?
Were they happy with it?
Quite normal. They were well happy.
Yeah.
Couldn't believe the luck with it.
What do you mean quite normal? What do you mean quite normal?
Well, it's always a bit scared, isn't it, getting people round.
I imagine they were scared.
Well.
And were they excited to see you? Could they, I mean, they were, you know, could you tell that they were pretty pleased to see you?
No, I don't think so, I mean...
You're Karl Pilkington.
Yeah, but the fellas sort of, I mean, they brought the whole family round, which was a bit odd.
Well, it's not often they get the chance to visit a living freak.
Anyway, no, they were nice.
And you're moving now, yeah? He said, he phoned me up today, you know, it was absolutely tipping it down. Right? He had to cycle in, right? Because he said, because of the move, he doesn't want to leave his bike round there. Right? And he said, and Suzanne, oh, I can't say this in case he's listening, can I?
He won't know.
He said Suzanne's hired the oldest removal man in London.
You should hear him. And the thing is, right, we booked him because everyone else happened to be booked out, but this fella's free, right? So he called up this morning. I've never spoke to him, but he was on the phone. He sounded about 90.
Yeah.
Carl thinks that he's going to have to do all the work.
And the thing is, right, it seems to be
all he
cheap.
wanted some Werther originals.
Yeah, right, listen, he seemed to be cheap because it's £50 an hour. But how long is it going to take him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's genius.
When's the move on then? When's the
he's coming round. He came round today to bring some empty boxes, and he was struggling with them. So it actually happens on Wednesday.
Oh, God.
Anyway.
I woke up this morning, yeah.
Feeling fine.
It's not a blues song. And I turned my phone on, and it was from Carl, and it went, "Forget it, I've made my mind up." And I thought,
wow,
what is that? And I
forget
phoned him.
it, I've made my mind.
I went, "Carl, what is it?" He went, "Oh no, it's about the text I sent you last night." I went, "Well, what was it? I just got this text." He went, I was just wondering, I was thinking last night. He said, "Supposing you had to have your hands removed."
Sure.
Right? And the doctor said, "Well, you can either have them stay like that with stumps, or I can sew feet there. What would you have?" And I was bleary-eyed, and I went, "The stumps." He went, "Yeah." I went, "All right." He went, "Yeah."
And then what was his follow-up text to that?
And then I got the text, it was obviously before it, and it went, and it was like quite serious. What would you do if surgeon not your hands? Would you have stumps or the feet? Right? Now the way, when I said, he's made his mind up, and I went, "The stumps," he went, "Yeah." I think secretly he decided on the feet, but was too embarrassed to tell me.
There's a little bit of what would you do? Because
But why did you think of this? Why did you think of this?
Girlfriend's away, right?
Yeah, no, that's not why you start thinking bizarre surgery devices.
Right? I'll let you into my little mind, right? Last night, I had some beans on toast, right? She was away.
It's good already.
She was away, she had some beans on toast, she went wild.
Yeah.
Right? Now, I was stood up, I live on like on a high street, right? So I'm washing up, I'm looking out the window. First thing that had my attention is, I can look into other people's flats, right?
Yeah.
And it was weird how all these different lives were going on, I was watching them, and everybody had the telly on and was watching Volcano, right? Which was on last night.
Right.
And I thought, oh, that's weird, right? I can see them all watching it, and it was like a little Chinese lad who was dancing around in some underpants. Yeah. And then there's a little old woman who lives downstairs who was reading a book, and she's always reading a book every night, and it's like, I have a better life than her. And then there's like some sort of bouncer who's always getting ready to go out late at night with all the black on. He looks like a bouncer. So I was watching all this life going on. I thought,
did you witness a murder while you were doing it?
Yeah.
It was like that sort of Sliver film where that bloke had loads of tellies watching people's lives. So that was going on in my mind, and then I was washing up, and I picked up the plate, and I thought, oh, it's amazing, isn't it? The human body, the way you can just sort of, you know, I want to pick that up, and you do.
Yes.
And the way your hands work, right? You've got 5 little digits, but it's just the right amount to do what to do what you've got to do, right? So I'm cleaning the plate.
Sorry, Carl, stop. It's just the right amount. Might be one of the most genius things I've ever heard said. I would love David Attenborough to phone you up and say, Carl, how do I word this about the evolution of the mammalian front limb? Just go, we'll just say it's the right amount.
But it is. One
of course
extra
it
would
is.
get in the way.
Yeah.
And one less would just make it that little bit more tricky when picking up a bit of a slippery dish.
Sure, or buying gloves. Yeah.
A slippery dish.
So then, I was thinking, right, imagine, like, going to the doctors and he's saying, yeah, everything's alright, your heart's good and everything, but...
Your art's good? What, your Larry's, or...?
Yeah, your heart, you're in good form and what have you. It's good news, you know, I had Giano in earlier. He's not looking good.
Yeah. I had Fat Swaller.
But you're alright, but your hands need to come off.
Right. Blimey.
But...
That's bad. Like, I'd get a second opinion initially.
But a better good news, I've got a nice pair of feet I can sort you out with.
Yeah.
And he puts them on, and then I was thinking, right, first of all, washing up, what would that be like? I thought,
Steve,
that'd be tricky. Yeah. And then the second thing was, it'd probably ruin the sort of the shape of your jumper.
Because you have to keep putting the feet through there. Yeah.
And then I thought, but I could still cycle in.
Okay.
To work.
You could run in.
Well, that's the thing.
You'd be really fast.
Well, that's what I was thinking. I thought I could still cycle because I could balance, and then I thought, but the only thing is I probably couldn't pull the brakes. Because of the little short things.
Yeah.
And then, like you, I thought, but then again, you're running in half the time. So that's what was going on in last night.
Right.
That's what I was thinking about.
Sure. Did you?
How long did this take?
Well, how long does it take to wash up?
Right, because I imagine you just being there for, like, all night.
Probably 25 minutes.
How long did the little Chinese fella dance for in his pants?
He's always doing it. Last night he was at it for, like, 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And his girlfriend never sits in the same room as him. She's always sat in the bedroom.
She's going, you dance in pants again, I go in next door.
Well, she was in the bedroom. She's always in the bedroom, sat on the floor, on the mobile phone.
Right.
All the time, yeah, it's weird how people's lives are just like, it is like that Groundhog Day thing. It's like, you know, he's jumping about in his underpants, the old woman's sat there reading a book.
Yeah.
And that's what got me thinking about my life.
Do you think she ever goes...
Are you sure she's not dead? Every time you look down there, she's just flicking through she's just reading this book. The pages never turn. She never seems to finish it. She never moves from her chair.
Are you sure the Chinese
her
girl's
cats
going...
are dead around her.
I'm going into next door again. That little round-headed fella's looking in. He's looking in at me. The bouncer goes, "Don't worry, love, I'll go and beat him up." But he's always getting ready.
That's true.
They see you staring at him, washing up, going, "I could have feet here," and they get scared. The old woman's dead. Oh,
Carl,
dear.
can you tell us roughly which neighbourhood you live in, so that we know?
It's central.
Central, is it?
Yeah.
Wow, imagine if that little... Was he a Chinese fella, did you say?
Yeah.
Imagine if he was listening now. I'd love him to call in and explain his actions.
Well, he might be on some other radio station talking about a lad who's always washing up and looking at his hands in a mysterious way.
Yeah.
But do we have this doctor that would go, "Well, all right, Carl, you could either leave him as stumps, or I've got every little pair of feet." Why? I mean, I told Jane this, and Jane went, "Is that the only choice? Could you say, could I have some dead man's hands? Have you got any? Where'd you get the feet from? Where'd you get the feet from? Can I have? What would you rather have then? Human feet or monkey paws?"
Well, I mean, that wasn't an option last night. That if the doctors said...
No, it wasn't an option last night, but don't forget, it's in your head, Carl. This didn't happen.
No, but I'm just saying, at the time, that's all the doctor had to offer.
But, you know, it's your head, you can go anywhere. No, it wasn't a real doctor to offer. It's in your head, you can go anywhere. You're not trapped.
Yeah, but if you can do anything, then you'd say, we'll sort us out some other hands.
Fair point, let's play record.
Hello. You're listening to the best of, basically, Karl Pilkington.
Right, you ready then? So, just in case you haven't heard it before, I'll give you some initials of a band or an artist.
We're not doing Rockbusters now, are we?
Yeah, I thought, well, we've just...
Oh, then we could keep that going, then we got... Well, I love educating Ricky, that's my favourite thing now.
Well, what do you want to do, Steve?
I think let's hear the clues.
It's just like he's sort of bigged up the prizes.
And so this is only by email. Give the email address out now for people to write it down now, Carl.
Right, it's ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk.
ricky.gervais@xfm.co.uk. Only entries on email.
Yeah.
You're gonna get 3 clues. You've got to get them all right.
And you win all the
You win all those prizes we just said. Okay, Carl, go on then.
Right, and just a quick example, one of the first ones we did, it was like AK, and the clue was exploding pet, and it was atomic kitten, right? Yeah. So you understand how it works now. These are your clues. The first one, that army has got some nice trenches.
That army has got some nice trenches. Excellent.
Yeah. And the initials there are DW.
Do you write some of the questions for 15 to 1?
Go on.
So that army has got some
similar
nice
phrasing.
trenches. Okay.
Okay.
The second one.
What were the initials there, Carl, on that person?
DW.
DW.
Yeah. Right. The second one. The top of them curtains are all wrecked. All the materials all worn.
He acts it out though. We've got to get him on telly. We have got to get him on telly because his little face and his gestures.
That's the second one. The initials being HV. Okay, the top of those curtains are wrecked. All the materials all worn out. Right, HV. And the final one. Here's the final clue. I was in Texas the other week. Right, I tripped and landed on my knees in a puddle.
What's the initials?
WH for that one. So I was in Texas, I tripped up, landed on my knees in a puddle. So that's WH.
Incredible.
He's got it!
Is it great?
It's fantastic! It doesn't work!
Okay, tell me during the record, Do you remember you're playing for these compilation albums? We got the Fatboy Slim DVD, Linda Green on VHS, and of course, Executive Decision, starring Kurt Russell as well.
FM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant. We're not actually here. It's the best of. Okay, what's the next one? What's the educating Ricky?
I don't know, see, like I say, I was looking around and there's stuff that is interesting. Right? I was looking on the web.
But there's no point.
Well, it's just that I found one about,
what's the point?
About a lad who, 8 years old, but he's still breastfed. Now, I don't know if you can get anything out of that.
Is that what his mum said?
So,
what do you mean I don't know if I can get anything out of that? You don't need to.
No, it's just that, you know...
Where did you read that?
That was on the internet.
Oh, well, yeah.
You're always unspecific when you mention it. It's just it was on the internet.
Well, I'm trying to think what I put in. I think I put in Y to see if I'd confuse a computer. And then,
Carl, you are...
No, I did
no, honestly.
I did a search, put in Y, and it came up with funny things that, like, why is this person doing that? Why is that? And it had a picture of this 8-year-old lad, sort of, you know, on his mum's nipple. And it was saying, you know, is this healthy?
You sure that wasn't asking you that question?
What? I put in Y just to confuse the computer. Like, the computer go, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Stop it.
Yeah.
Oh, look, last week, I was walking, home with him, and I went, he was saying something stupid, and I went, I've got a competition for next week. Let's do a phone-in, and it's called Karl Pilkington, Genius or Fool.
Yeah.
Right? And he went, No. I went, why not? He went, well, it'd be confusing because they say there's no difference between genius and being a fool.
You do though, don't you?
No, but it's rubbish, and people say there's a fine line between madness and genius, and, you know, it's a ridiculous soundbite. They don't say there's a fine line between a genius and an idiot.
Well, the people who do are idiots.
Yeah.
So what would you do there, though, just to sort of wrap that little thing up? What would you do? That lad loves his mum's milk.
What are you asking me to come up with?
No, I'm
a
just...
title for the story?
No, it's just what would you do? Right.
What do you mean, what would I do?
Well, it's causing a bit of a problem in the area. Right.
What area?
In America, I think it was.
Oh, America are a problem, are they? George Bush is worried about this kid who's breastfeeding at 8.
Imagine it like this, right?
Right. No, so, Carl, what are you asking me? about this spurious story you saw on the internet.
I saw it on the internet. There's an
Yeah.
8-year-old lad, he likes his mum's milk,
Yeah.
and it's saying, is this right? Should it
No,
be
it's
going
not.
on?
But what
What do you want Ricky to do about it? It's not his responsibility.
yeah. Yeah.
No, but the little town that he lives in, they're all causing an uproar, right? Going, this isn't right, you know,
No.
I can't let my kid play out in case he's in the garden with his mum getting a bit hungry, right? So,
God.
what should they do? Because his mum's saying, well, he likes it,
Yeah.
and he, you know, so what do you do?
I don't know the laws.
No, but I'm not asking you to sort out the laws. I'm just saying, if you lived in that neighbourhood, what
Yeah.
would you say? If you went up to him and said, look, everyone's getting a bit fed up with this, look.
I'd say, what would I do? What do you mean, what would I do? what are you asking me?
Right, it doesn't matter.
No, what are you asking me? What are you asking me and Steve and the
I'm
public?
just saying, say if you live next door to this woman,
Yeah.
right? The kid's hungry, 8 years old, he's out playing on his bike and he goes, Mum, I'm getting a bit peckish, and he goes, alright, son. She whops one out. And he starts having his milk, right? You live next door, you're putting your washing out, and you see this going on. You're getting a bit sick of it, because it's gone on for months.
8 years, I assume.
Why is it your business? Why are you such a nosy neighbour that you're concerned?
What would you do, Carl? Let's turn it back on him.
Yeah.
What would you do?
What's your solution?
What would you do?
Well, I thought I'd say, right, why are you doing this? And she'd say, because he likes it. And I go, all right then, put it in a bowl first.
And you think that would sort that out?
No, because I was thinking about the whole thing, right? And you do that when you're a baby, and everything's all right, innit?
Yeah.
No one bats an eyelid at a little baby having a bit of milk from its mum's breast, right?
Yeah.
You'd almost say it was natural.
But you grow out of it. It's like you don't see. It got me thinking about things you don't see, and you don't see.
Did you put this into a computer? Show me things you don't see.
What else don't you see?
Well, you don't see like an old man having a Twix. You never. So what?
You know the terrible thing about all this, Steve, is he's right.
You don't see an old man
I
eating a
know,
Twix.
that's the terrible thing.
So what they have got, right? They've made old man toffees, haven't they? They've come up with Werther's.
Is that a song? Oh God! You don't see it.
So they've got their Werther's, right?
Yeah.
So
Look at him. You
Forget
think he's
it.
giving a lecture at Oxford?
it's not going anywhere.
No, go on. Sorry, go on.
I'm
What?
just saying.
Right.
You grow out of things.
Yeah.
And the old man, I'm sure when he was a kid, he'd have a Twix.
Yeah.
But now it doesn't look right, so he's having.
It doesn't look right.
So.
Right.
I don't think Werther's originals were specially designed for old people. I think they were sweets that just happened to have been made for years. That's why old people eat them.
Yeah.
They didn't go, hang on, there's a market here. I've noticed old people aren't eating Twixes. Quick, let's make some old man sweets.
But the little advert, he gives it to his grandson as well, doesn't he? He goes, I have a Werther's original.
No, I think it cuts though before he throws it back in his face and goes, get me a Twix.
Did you see the stylish? You've been voting in all week, sending your emails. So here's the clips that you wanted. You've got a real problem with Rick Wallow, haven't you?
I just, he turns my stomach.
I know, but don't...
Because he's arrogant as well, though.
Exactly.
That's the problem.
Don't explain to people that...
No, he is a bit
it's
arrogant.
It's his whole thing that it's the whole package, so to speak, that you don't
Well, there's another thing in this quote, because
it's
he's
not just the fact that he eats too much.
He tried apparently to lose some weight, and he said the first month I lost 11 pounds, the next I lost a stone, but in the third my body did somersaults and I put on 9 pounds. I had a slip up. I can't say when, why, or how, but it just sneaked up on me.
Yeah.
I don't believe it.
Yeah.
Don't believe it just sneaked up on him.
That body's never done a somersault in its life.
No. It just sneaked up on him.
Yeah.
It was the cakes again.
Yeah.
It was the same old cakes as before. It was exactly the same problem.
Sleep eating.
Yeah.
It's called.
It was the KFC bucket again. It was the family-sized KFC bucket for breakfast.
Dear. Poor man. The other thing is that I don't think that's a very good shock tactic for a doctor to tell a 20-something, well, to be honest, you've got 20 years to live.
Yeah.
That's not, you know, and when I was 20, the thought of dying at 40 was fine.
Yeah.
I didn't want to live to 40. I just thought, oh, what can you do when you're 40?
Yeah.
Just laying around doing nothing.
Eating cheese. And then you got there, and you discovered...
No, but someone sent me... Sophie here sent me something, and she said, I realise you're not Graham Norton, but I had to send you this. And she sent me the top of a little cream cheesy thing. It's the brand name is Gervais.
How odd that is. They've named a cheese after you.
I think it's a big French company, and this is from the Czech Republic. It's all over Europe, and so
that would be a dream come true, wouldn't it? If they named a cheese after you.
No, I think it's probably ancestors, and so cheese is in my blood.
Sure,
quite
literally.
It
literally is. Yeah, another heavy Friday night, was it?
It comes out of pores like those Play-Doh things. Yeah. I can squeeze out different shapes.
Jane, bring the Stilton in. It's Friday night.
Oh, this isn't fried.
Exactly.
But yeah, so we can't really have a go at Rick Waller. I eat too much, but
you're not big. I mean, one of the other contestants on the Fat Club, Celebrity Fat Club, is another one is Jono Coleman.
Oh, we love Jono.
Now Jono, I don't know, you know Jono. He's that guy who does. He used to be on TV, and I think he does a breakfast show on a rival station, doesn't he?
He's happy, isn't he?
He's so trivia, and he's a really nice bloke, Jono. But
it's funny because he does a breakfast show on Heart, which is wrecking his own. There's a bit of irony.
Oh, I love Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I love you.
I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah, that's good.
But we've met Jono a couple of times. We saw him at a couple of, not wishing to say not to show off, but a couple of awards dues.
Yeah, like that's showing off. But like people would see dead there.
Well, yeah, but we went to one where everyone was in like tuxedos or suits and ties. Not Jono. Jono was wearing a pair of Bermuda shorts,
big Bermuda
and a
shorts,
Hawaiian
knee-length Bermuda shorts with just these little.
But I saw him again another time, and he had shorts on at a similar event, and I've seen him since in the street, and he's all. I'm wondering if he can wear trousers. I don't think he can actually wear trousers. I don't know if there's a medical reason for that. Whether he's just his legs are too fat.
I think the material is a waste of money. I think it's just that you can get shorts that big and they're comfortable and. You know, I mean, to be quite honest, I don't want to squeeze into a tuxedo anyway. So, if you can go, I'd love to turn up to those things in Bermuda shorts.
Well, of course.
Flip-flops. You know,
but do you think he started off by wearing, maybe he just had the upper half was a tuxedo with the tie and
then the shorts for
the shorts underneath, and he would just have to come in, kind of sneak behind, you know, a sideboard.
Potted plant.
Or a potted plant, or bring his kids ahead of him.
Yeah.
You know, you are wearing trousers, aren't you? You're wearing trousers.
Of course I am,
In you go.
Kids move a bit. Well, no.
Exactly.
Of course I'm wearing trousers. Why would
I'm wearing trousers.
And then he just thought, oh, this isn't fooling anyone.
So now I'm going to make a wacky effort to sort of, you know.
The next zone is, I've heard he's going in a grass skirt and a garland around his, and he's gonna come in limboing.
But you did ask if you could go to the BAFTAs in a dressing gown, didn't you?
Just for ease.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, is this talking about diets and stuff, right?
Go on.
They've come up with a drug that, they tested it out on a mouse, right? They said, you know, it's a problem that weight is a big issue in the world, and, you know, a lot of people are depressed, and that, probably like Rick Waller.
Well, I'm depressed looking at Rick Waller.
Well, you know. I mean, you could sort out Rick by, you know, Jono is an old man, he's got loads of money.
He's not old.
No, but he's getting on a bit, right?
He's about
no, but hang on a minute. What I mean is he does his own shopping, right? So I bet it's hard.
What do you mean?
Because he's like, how old is he? 35. Right, he's got loads of money, he does his own shopping, so when he goes to the supermarket and he passes, you know, the sponge cake section, it must be tough when you've got loads of money to burn that you go, oh, just one more.
Yeah.
One more.
We are getting close to libel here, I think.
No, but I'm saying how it is, because I've tried, like, losing a little bit of weight.
Have you?
And it is difficult when you're in Waitrose and you see a little chocolate muffin and you think, well, one more and I'll do without...
Do you like a little chocolate muffin now and again?
Yeah, right.
Is that your favourite thing?
So the thing is...
Let him finish his point.
So the thing is, right, now with Rick, he lives at home with his mum, so why doesn't his mum just say, I'm going to buy less this week, and if you eat it all, you're not getting any more?
Yeah.
That's sort that
Does
out.
he live
a short, sharp shop?
I bet he does. I bet he does.
So you don't actually know if this is true or not?
No, but anyway, right, so this drug they've come up with...
They've tested this on mice, haven't they? No, I'm worried if they haven't tested it on mice.
Thank God for that.
It's definitely been tested on mice.
Definitely.
They fed a mouse a load of cake.
Yeah.
Right? And it went a little bit chubby, and they said, right, stop a minute. And then they gave it this drug that makes you lose weight.
Yeah.
And its weight went down, but the only bad side effect was its eyes were popping out.
Well, that seems to be fine then. Let's give it to Jono. There doesn't seem to be any problem.
Oh, Rick should get some of that.
Yeah, Struth, Doc, look at these. Oh, Jesus, Jono, your eyes are popping out. That happened to the mice. Sorry? That happened to the mice.
But what
do you mean?
That's the option.
What do you mean that's the option?
So I love the fact that your choice is either be like a fat, happy man who has the odd sponge cake, or a stick man with eyes on stalks. I mean, Steve's chosen that.
Alright, calm down. I thought we were slagging off Rick Waller and fat people.
Sorry,
Let's
mate.
have a go at the fat people before we start on me, really.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I
You know what I mean? It's like...
Yeah.
Because I got some issues, even body issues.
I
you
know.
But I mean, Rick Waller's grotesque, you know.
Yeah, sorry about
I'm just a little bit weird. I mean, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, should we play a song? And
Well, I'm just a little bit offended.
Alright, XFM 104.9, Ricky Gervais, Steve Merchant, Karl Pilkington, not here. It's the best of. You've been voting in all week, sending your emails, so here's the clips that you wanted.
So let's take us back a few steps, Karl. What's the story?
Right, so I did some research, right?
Let's just recap again. There was a guy you read about who had his head chopped off. He was guillotined.
Yeah.
He had said to the people around him,
Count
I am going
blinks.
to blink once I've had my head cut off to
So
show
the brain
that life,
can still...
or the brain
Yeah.
can continue to work after
Yeah.
death. Okay, so yeah, we queried that.
So you weren't having any of it?
Well, no, possibly for a few seconds, till the oxygen stops being fed to the cells because the blood has drained away. But, you know, nothing spectacular. So
Right,
go on.
well, along the similar sort of lines, right? This is quite a few years ago. This fella sort of upset the royal family doing something, right? So they said that this isn't good.
Wasn't Ben Outland at that Jubilee thing, was it?
I can't remember what it was, and they said, right,
That was terrible.
we're gonna cut your head off. You know, you gotta show people that you can't be doing what you've been doing.
What was this, the 1970s? What you said a couple of years ago, you mean maybe sort of...
Was it the olden days when the phones weren't very good?
Ages ago.
Yeah.
Days ago, sure.
So I said, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
So
Very philosophical.
Yeah, imagine that when you watch news.
Cut your head off. No,
This
fair
was
enough.
literally ages ago.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, go
Simon
on.
Sharma's History of Britain.
Yeah. Oh,
So-
and even before that, which is young before, when it was all mental and different. Sorry, Karl, go on.
So he's having his head cut off, and he's resigned to it.
It's the day before. He's kind of got it into his head now that I'm not going to have my head much longer.
Sure.
So he said, let's make use of this.
Yeah.
He said, I wonder how long like the body can stay alive without the head on it, right? So they were like, oh, I don't know. So
Who were?
so
The jailers?
whoever he was asking.
These jailers with one eye.
Yeah.
Get out, Todd.
So he said,
No, wait a minute, I've got an interesting scientific experiment, jailer. Well,
Yeah.
fair enough.
What is it?
So he said, what I want to do, right? He said, you know, surely it's my last right. You know, I'm gonna be dead tomorrow.
Sure.
So let's
He
do a
didn't
test.
draw it out this long, did he?
Yeah, he said, let's test this out. You know, he said, do us a favour. He said, you know, it's my last day. What I want you to do is, you're going to cut my head off. Let's put a white line on the floor.
Right.
And see if, you know, because there's no point asking how far he can sort of walk without an head if there isn't a line, because you don't know what to count. Do you know what I mean? If he loses his head and he's running around all over the place, you can't really count
That's
that.
not impressive enough, yeah.
So they said, let's make a white line.
Sure.
Yeah. Who said this? He did or they did?
I think they started to join in with him and saying, well, let's make this a... you know.
You guess it, go on.
So,
They got Norris McWhirr down. The Guinness people.
Oh, yeah.
so they said, let's get this white line.
Yeah.
And,
Dedication's all he needs.
we'll do this tomorrow. And he said, alright, I'll see you in the morning. So we go-
I'll see you in the morning. Night, sleep tight. Bye.
I love the fact that God knows exactly what was said.
Oh,
that's beautiful.
Yeah, he doesn't know the story
Yeah.
or what order it is in
Yeah,
or when
but
it
he
was.
knows exactly what
or
was
who
said.
said what, but he knows the intricacies. Alright then, see you in the morning. Bye, little kissy. Oh, I'm not like that. Oh, you joker.
Don't let the bed bugs fly.
Yeah, anyway.
So he gets up.
Do you want a paper tomorrow? No, I'm alright. Go on.
He gets up and they say, right, you know, today's the day and that. And he said, well, you know, I've got used to the idea. So here's a white line for you.
Got used to the idea. Go on.
So they go, right, you ready then? And he said, I go on. And they cut his head off. And the body walked 32 steps without a head.
Wow.
32 steps.
Incredible.
And that's the lesson, really.
Did it get as far as it walked along the white line, did it?
Yeah, he stayed along the white line, did 32 steps, and then started to stumble a bit, and it just fell over.
yeah.
But,
Yeah,
you know,
lovely.
it was a test that your body can still keep alive for a little bit
Yeah.
when you've lost your head.
Absolute twaddle. Absolute twaddle.
What do you reckon you can do then without an head? How many steps?
Nothing.
There'd be muscular spasm, right?
Yeah. It would twitch a bit.
It would, yeah. You could not distinctly take 32 steps. The body well, don't...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is the doctor still on the line?
Yeah.
The fellow that bought 6 parrots.
Yeah.
And, you know, you could have got 32 steps.
Right, so
A
you don't
beheaded
believe
man
that.
doing a bit of line dancing.
Right, you don't believe that, but something that you do believe that a cockroach can live a week without an head.
It can. Slightly different kettle of fish there.
Why?
Wow, insect to human is what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
that
well,
difference.
There's not that much difference in
Well, of course
some
there
insects. Do you know that a snake has a heart and lungs and kidneys and stuff?
Go on.
No, well, I'm just saying.
So?
You're making out as if, like, they're a totally different, like,
Species. I am making out. I mean, call me old-fashioned.
Do you know what you're talking about now? I don't want you embarrassing yourself, Rick.
Yeah, I am suggesting they're totally different beings. Yeah, that is. Yeah. Now, Carl, the cockroach is a very different thing. The interesting there is that it lives without its head, because a lot of it's on, there's some of them are phototropic, chemotropic, some of them just literally have, irritation and muscle memory. I mean, they do have a central nervous system, but it's very different. So if you lose the head, it bypasses a lot of that anyway. All it does is run around. The reason it dies is because it can't take on water. But it's very different to a man, right, having consciousness and then losing that, and the body's still going, no, I think I remember what I was going to do here.
Yeah, so
I'm going to carefully walk 32 steps along this white line. Imagine just looking down going, oh, missed a bit.
Yeah.
Maybe the head is in the corner going, left,
Yeah.
left, left. Oh, he's now.
Well, let's just put it out. I mean, if anyone listening has maybe had a relative beheaded, maybe in a horrendous car accident, where they got up, maybe they went for a walk, they had a little chat before they passed on.
Carl.
Get in touch.
Carl, you are my favourite being. You are my favourite species.
Now, you, Carl, may not be particularly different genetically from a cockroach.
You
Well,
are.
why can cockroaches do that? Why whoever made them went...
Let's play a record.
Do you know what, when I told him this fact, I send him little facts on text messages just to inflame his, interest. I just sent him a cockroach can live 9 days without its head. He texted back, what's the point of that?
Yeah.
What's the point of
They're
that?
not doing experiments, these cockroaches.
It's a boring last week to have.
And he went, and on top of all that, you're thirsty. So it's the worst week of your life, isn't it? That week without your head. XFM 104.9, I'm Ricky Gervais, with me Stephen Merchant. Hello. You're listening to the best of, basically, Karl Pilkington. Carl's all flustered because there isn't a record set up, but he's getting all tizzy. He's been more worried about his competitions than sorting out putting records on ready. What?
I'm after Steve's Song for a Lover.
Well, I'll tell you what, why didn't you carry on with your educating Ricky section? I'll have a look on the
We'll
CD
keep it going, Steve.
Yeah, you
Cover it.
keep it
Go on.
flip.
Go on then, right, okay. We've had a few emails. Anyone got it right, Carl? Anyone got it?
educating Ricky, that's the final one. We've got to get that out of the way.
We've got to get Rockbusters as well, though.
do that at the end, we can whip.
Go on then.
But we've only got 5 minutes left.
Come on, just do Educating Ricky.
Right.
God.
The last one that we haven't done
Right.
is, he's a bit of a nuisance.
Go on then.
Again, not really that interesting.
Thanks.
No, again, I spoke to you in the week, and he had much better things, like when I told you about Brian Blessed climbing Everest, and for some reason it made him, it played havoc with his belly, and
What?
he followed through, and he had to clean up.
Shut himself.
Yeah, using ice and snow.
Why are you telling me that Brian Blessed... in what way is telling me that Brian Blessed shit himself once in any way educational?
Because I was saying how he was climbing Everest, right? You've got to give it to him, he's an actor and that, but he gave that a go.
Yeah.
Right? It played...
What's the point of that, you'd say, wouldn't you?
You'd say, God, he's he's
Oh, so he's alright. Me doing a boxing match for no reason is rubbish, but him climbing Everest and shitting himself...
Yeah, he did that.
is commendable.
Right, and he's only gonna, go and do it again. He's gonna climb it again.
Yeah, but he might not shit himself this time.
Yeah, but what's the point in going? Nothing's changed up there.
Yeah, good point. Yeah,
What's it been?
Well, it has. They've probably cleared it out by now. Right, but it's slip on it.
I can't really bother telling you this one, because...
Come on!
To be
Just
honest-
do it, or do it now!
Steve, how we doing?
Look, no, never mind that. Look, just tell me what that means. Oh, he's a nuisance. Oh, this is so annoying, Carl. I'm gonna go mental.
Right,
Talk!
Right, listen, I'm just putting this in here, right? Right, nuisance is a bit of a nuisance.
Yeah.
Apparently,
Yeah.
the old fella who used to hang people...
1700s?
Yeah. He used to be able to tell somebody's weight just by looking at them. Right? That's a bit of a bonus fact.
We'll be the judge of that.
The thing that I wanted to tell you is, money for old rope, do you know what I'm saying? I can't even be bothered.
Yes, you're gonna tell me now. Come on, Carl. I mean it.
Basically, money for old rope came from the... right.
What was all that about? He can tell someone's weight. What was that for? Fact. And blind blessed shitting himself. What are you... What? No, don't you... No, tell me that now. You nearly made me swear then. I'm getting really annoyed. I'm getting really annoyed now. Tell me this fact, Carl, or I'm gonna go mental. Come on, Carl. I'm trying to know.
Not that people, years ago, when people used to be hung, right?
Right.
If you didn't like the person who's been hung, you'd go, God, I really don't like him. And so you never forget the time.
Presumably if they're being hung, we take that as read.
Yeah. So they never forget. Afterwards, they get the hangman to get the rope and to cut it up into little pieces, and he'd sell them. He'd sell the little pieces of the rope to people.
See, Carl, that's the most interesting thing, if it's true, that you've come up with. Right, okay. And so so they sell the rope?
They sell the rope, and it's money for old rope.
Money for old rope?
Meaning, like, you know, God, it's easy to make money, all I have to do is cut it up and sell it.
I'm cynical. I'm not so convinced
right, listen, we're really tight. We haven't even got time for a last talk. We've got an ad break and we've got to give out...
Okay, give the answers then. This is ridiculous.
So, Steve,
on.
do you want to pick a winner?
I've got a winner when you give us the answers.
Okay, so the first clue was, that army has got some nice trenches.
Yeah.
That was DW.
Who's that?
Dandy Warhols.
That's brilliant. That's brilliant.
All right.
It's good, yeah.
The second one, the top of them curtains are wrecked, all the material is worn. HV, that's Holly Valance.
Oh, he got a phone call for a woman saying I haven't heard it, and he was talking to her off air, and she went, what is it? Someone said, them curtains. She went, all right. He said, you know the thing around the top of the curtain is a pelmet, not a valance, and he went, cut her off.
Yeah, but... My auntie's always making balances on everything. I'll tell you about that next week, right?
I'm looking forward to that. Right. Is this the one that farted for 5 minutes?
Yeah, the very same.
Yeah.
Right? So, we'll talk about that. I was in Texas, I tripped up, I landed on my knees in a puddle, WH, wet knee Houston, right?
Wet knee Houston.
Yeah. So,
you're a maniac.
So, who's a winner?
We've got Pete, Catherine and Laura in Newcastle upon Tyne. They're listening online, I assume, and they're going to get those great pictures. And remember, they've got loads of stuff. They've got the DVD here, they've got Linda Green, they've got Stone Roses, they've got another compilation, and Executive Decision. What did you read about Brian Blessed? Is it actually true, or have you lied with someone else?
It was an interview with him in it.
And what did he say? Come on, what did he say?
He said I climbed Everest and I played off it with me belly. Let's talk about it next week. We've really run out now.
Oh, you're a fool.